Hello and welcome everybody to the OSL Athens Grand Finals here. And this is a rematch, a rematch because of the last time. You can see exclamation point rematch to get more details, but the match was deemed invalid. We have the Warriors of Albion versus the Royal Jesters, and I'm joined by MechanisCaduceus here. And we're going to be doing, the exact same thing we did last time, but hopefully we'll see if the Warriors can win it this time.
We'll see if the Warriors can win it this time, or if the Royal Jesters can come up and say, no cheater, no matter. They may not have known, but the accidental benefactors can have a shot here to prove that they didn't need him anyway. Warriors of Albion going to ban the Hercules, and you and I were just talking about exactly how good Sunprod is on that pick.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, it is just clearly his best pick. It is something that he had put an absolute show on and made these guys look like chumps. And Aurora is on the other team. You know who Aurora is. Like, that guy is crazy. Fenrir being banned away, not surprised to see that. That is just he could play 3 roles, but he would likely go into jungle or support. And that is a pick that can just kind of set up, run the map. But it is one of Donut Doug's picks. So it is limiting Donut Doug's pool a bit more. But we'll see what the Jesters respond with.
I also love this Aladdin ban, honestly. I've seen a lot of really good Aladdin play recently, and he just puts out so much damage onto your backliners, on top of the fact that a lot of frontliners right now aren't able to be as tanky as they want to be. This Aladdin ban and this Agni ban, in my opinion, very, very clear signs of what they
Let the
don't
sound
want
of
to see.
slaughter begin!
As Kali gonna be locked in by the Warriors of Albion, do we see do we perchance see an aspect?
Seeing that it's in jungle, I'm not too sure. It's really what Donut Doug likes to do more. I think that he might do it, but it also takes away that death immunity that Kali has, and that's something really benefits Doug's playstyle.
Greetings, friend.
Peppery, that no dying dual lane that they had last time in their sets that proved to be a problem for the Warriors is something they're running back. The Warriors are probably going to prioritize. They could look towards this Guan Yu that they've been prioritizing a ton. The Merlin is the hover and the lock-in. That's something I would not be surprised to see an aspect on. The Kali is kind of up in the air whether or not. Same with the Thor. We're going to see an aspect on that.
Yeah, I mean, as far as aspect Merlin versus standard Merlin, having 2 abilities at level 1 is always kind of good, you know? But certainly this Thor right here, I can't wait to see what that does. That aspect of Thunderstruck has been going absolutely crazy since it came out. It's given him a lot of potential to go just about anywhere. And I mean, I can't wait to see what WoA does with it. Do they put Thor in support? Maybe send, send, of course, Kali jungle with another solo. Do they put Thor solo? Find another support? A lot of options still on the table for the Warriors of Albion here, as it looks like we're going to see, indeed,
even
Ra
gods must
locked
heed
in
the scales of
alongside
fate.
the Nemesis, and already was talking about how squishy tanks feel right now. Nemesis is really good at amplifying that.
Nemesis doesn't seem like a Sunprod pick. Sunprod is a kind of guy that comes into a fight and just tries to murk everybody. Like, that's what he tries to do. He gets in and he just absolutely floors everybody. He's the star of the show for the Jesters team, and Nemesis isn't that kind of character, really. He might try to look towards this sort of split-pushing style that Nemesis can do, but I'm not too sure exactly. I'm sure he's more than capable of piloting it.
I will hunt you down!
Fit the bill. Mordred,
Let the hunt begin.
That fits Crow's bill for sure. It's his most played character by a significant margin, and the Artemis picks up. Means that this Thor is certainly going support. Cerberus going to be the response. This matchup we saw a bunch of ties between Snooze and Crow in the last variant of this match. And it is one that Mordred doesn't particularly enjoy, but he doesn't, lose it either. The thing with Mordred is he has a ton of sustain, and Cerberus slurps some of that up from himself. It is, that solo lane matchup is going to be largely neutral, but I think that what happens here is the Jesters need to make plays around this Nemesis, and the Nemesis is a hard time.
At the same time, I think they are oddly set up to do so. Bari has some decent CC in her kit. Capri can always make a few grabs, get a few roots. And Nemesis, I mean, that's slow. That slow can be brutal. Same with the Cerberus on top of just the ultimate. So playing around this Nemesis, playing around this Raw, seems to be the way the Jesters want to play this one out. And I would assume on the converse, on the flip side of that, Warriors Valvion, they're going to get in behind their Thor, behind their Kali, behind their Mordred, and really try and run these immobile, really, the Raw down.
I mean, I think that is exactly what they're going to try to do, is they're going to try and burn through all of these, death immunities, the resurrect, and either bait it out before the fight starts or force it on a target that's not ideal. The Khepri, for one, they're going to try to force it on. And this time around, I wonder if, because last time we saw this, the Bari ultimate and the Khepri ultimate usually came out at the same time, which was really just miscommunication between the Jesters. But the Bari is a different person this time. So we're going to see if that, impacts that and changes whether or not we're having a bit more trust in the support, a little less independence. But this Ra and the Nemesis, I think, are going to be, the pinnacle points to what you need to do. This Nemesis is leaving me wanting.
This Nemesis may be leaving you wanting, but I think we're all more wanting to get on into game number 1 back here in the Athens Division Finals as we get a good old look at Tiny Threat and the squad.
We did get Aspect Kali. Now this shifts the character's playstyle completely. It makes her a ranged character for one. It also removes her stun and her ultimate to no longer give her death immunity. Her stun becomes I don't know exactly what it is. It's a knockback, I believe. It is a knockback, as we can see production looking over it. It is a knockback. And her ultimate now gives her an amplified basic attack effect. And if she kills her target, that resets that cooldown. It's an interesting way to play Kali for sure. I'm not so sure about seeing it in the jungle. But what we're seeing in the jungle, actually, that I did want to talk about, is where they're starting. They started the Scorpion now. That Scorpion in the back that gives the Eye of the Jungle gives the most experience any camp in the game gives, which allows the junglers to hit level 2 off this red buff, which is huge for the both of them. But it also kind of leaves your solo laners out to dry.
It can leave your solo laners out to dry. That is absolutely for certain. I've got a solo laner in my ear a lot of the time telling me how much he wants his jungler starting at blue buff, and having seen the differences, I really don't blame him, but yeah, I mean, you gotta follow where the XP is if you're the jungle, man. I get that.
Doug's in the tower?
From the Kali! Leap in from the Kali, but not gonna be good enough. That was a aggressive play, to put it lightly, but not gonna find a kill there. Aurora in a little bit of trouble for a moment there. That Chalice is going to make sure he is nice and tight. Kill cam looking, seeing what he might be able to do. Not gonna be able to find anything. As Aurora and Tito, yet again, duking it out.
This matchup here is really, really interesting, right? Because you have Bari, who could do a ton of damage, but you also have the Thor, who, if he gets to you, specifically the Bari, can set up for this Artemis and make so much damage go your way. But you also have this Khepri, who decides to go Aspect himself, which makes the Thor or the Artemis, whoever he grabs, just get stuck in place, which allows Bari to absolutely unload on them. This lane could be absolutely volatile between the two sides, and it really depends on who is the one taking the initiative. It looks like Aurora is the one taking the initiative, and he stole a bunch of those away. That is disgusting. he did with the backpack.
Yeah, I mean, the power of Mjolnir.
That's gross. This is absolutely gross. Unfortunate for the Jesters.
Double damage on the already pretty hard-hitting ability. And good root out of Kenny made Tito take a lot more damage than they really wanted to there. Quarter of his health already gone here.
I'm curious to see now the Sun Prod on this Nemesis. Again, like I said before, it's not really a Sun Prod pick. I don't know. I think more obviously the Hercules, but I feel something that gets more aggressive in the early game fits him better. He likes to be flashy. He likes to make plays. And Nemesis isn't really like the flashy kind of character that I think of when I think of him. I'm more thinking maybe Loki or, even I know the Thor was already picked by the time they picked the Nemesis, but like those characters, I just feel better for him. But look at this.
Speaking of getting aggressive, Sun Prod able to look at Donut Doug because Donut Doug had taken 2 tower shots, but not with the mid lane nearby. Not going to be able to look at that too terribly closely, but does force Donut Doug away from that fire giant pit, away from the fire giant bread loaves, if you will.
Invade on this right side, though. They're looking.
That is definitely going to be a blue buff invade. Sunprod and Snoozism should have this one well in hand. Indeed, Snoozism with the Mordred's blue buff gonna wait out the
That's always so
severed
goofy
tendons.
looking. That's always so goofy looking because you're trying not to take too much damage, but little engage.
Roar, half his health currently gone. The root is good. Teleport away is even better, and Aurora will be fine. Tito, though, in the middle of two, gonna have to be very careful here. He died multiple times in that kind of positioning that first time around.
I think they've learned from that, from their last time playing. But then again, Macwheel is a different kind of player than Cole Football. Making this comparison, Cole Football is an aggressive kind of player. He wants to get active, whereas Macwheel is more than happy to farm out until he needs to come for the late game, right? He will get aggressive if his support wants to, but he's more than content just sitting there, getting his items online, doing the ADC thing, the carry thing, and that's just farming it up. So it's a bit of a different sort of playstyle. This Kepri also is a bit more passive, but they're more looking to respond to the aggression from Aurora, because Thor support wants to play aggressive. That's what you want to do. You want to try and play for kills. You're trying to play for an advantage, so you can keep piggybacking off of that. Right now in the dual lane, though, there really isn't that much of an advantage. There's a slight goal lead for the Warriors, but it's minuscule at best, and it's not exactly what they wanted in this dual lane, but it's better than them dying.
There are a lot of things that are better than them dying, and one of those being the fact everybody's got their ultimate should be fine for the Warriors of Albion, I would believe. Everybody ticking up to level 6 at exactly the same time. Still looking for our first kill of the new set. Where's Albion with a 300 gold lead? If you're just joining us, remember, exclamation... What was that? Exclamation...
Rematch.
Tiny Threat! Tiny Threat might be the one to die here. Indeed he does! Eevee with a beautiful snipe, and Sun Prodigy gonna fall on the back end. Looking for an Aurora going to Anvil of Dawn in. Will they find Eevee? Yes, they do. Donut Doug picks up 2. And Kali getting on the board at absolute rocket speed.
He called himself a donut in the jungle, and now he's getting fed. He's filled right now. He's one of those Boston cream donuts. He's got a lot of filling, and he's getting a lot of gold. This Braggy's Harp to start out is interesting, because Kali's got that mixed scaling. So he's got the intelligence, he's getting that strength from those stats, from those items. And now he's got Kali getting 2 target kills as well, I believe. I know the Rob was target.
Like it. It looked like it.
That is gross. That Kali now has this gigantic lead. But we're getting grabbed.
Say we talked about that grab a moment ago. And there's the Caledonian Boar. That's going to be death immunity used, revive used. Can he get away? No, he can't. Donut Doug gonna pick up his 3rd in the same minute.
Oh boy. This is Kali getting an electric start like this, especially with the aspect, which I think Kali already with her normal form, without the aspect, is something that looks to scale. In this form, she looks to scale even harder. And now that she has 3 kills to begin with, she could start setting the momentum, whereas normally this Nemesis would be the ones trying to be aggressive, trying to set the momentum, and you saw that when he was going on Tiny Threat. But now, Kali kind of just rolls her in this fight, even without the stun for the shield. You've got the knockback, which does take away the shield, but it's still, you know, now this gigantic lead is something that is very concerning for if you're on the Jesters.
Any jungle lead is actively incredibly concerning, but you absolutely have a point here. When it's 7 minutes in the game and the Kali has a lead like that, it is look out time. As Mordred having to ult away here, but Sun Prodigy not gonna let him go that easy. Donut Doug teleports back in, make sure their Mordred is safe. Nemesis, on the other hand, not safe at all. Aurora knows where he's at. So does Donut Doug. Double dash away. there's the beads. Cersei's Hexstone gonna get a good knock-up. Sun Prod turning the fight around, but not quite enough, but snoozes him. We'll find Roar on the back end. Donut Doug able to pick up a 4th kill. And Nemesis, that is not where you want to be right now. That's a Tearfing. That's a Braggy's Harp. That is a really destructive Kali.
I want to take a highlight on this. Crow has Eye of the Storm as his first item. This is a item that he's building specifically for the damage. He's got that. He's looking for the strength, and it gives him magical prod. This item gives magical prod? I forgot about that. This item has been so obscure for such a long time, but it's actually got pretty solid stats. And it is something that drains your max health as you use it. So it's, it obviously has a cost to it. But in the solo lane right now, you're building a lot of health because we talked about this before. The tank stats not being exactly the best thing. You have a lot of health, though, which allows you to soak a lot of damage. But this Eye of the Storm, using it, having that extra CC, making it a bit disorienting for the people who are around you. And it's got actually really solid stats, especially with the magical defense items not being so great. But this left side, Sunprod is looking for something, but Aurora knows he's there, especially with that ward being placed down. Kali's on the way.
Kali's on the way. Aurora went in. Cersei's Hexstone going to be used by Aurora. Anvil of Dawn. He's in the air looking to come back down. Finds Kill Cam Kenny. Talisman of Purification going to be used, but he will be the one to fall. Aurora will take the spill. Macwheel with a beautifully timed ultimate there, as he and Kill Cam Kenny are going to be able to get away. Sun Protege not able to steal the camp back, but don't want to fight over that. Not right now.
I'm going to be honest. That was kinda terrible. You have 2 characters that have a don't die button that are right there. Bari has one in an AoE. So you have to hit both Bari and Khepri there, and all they had to do was separate. So that eliminates any option for a kill there. They bit off more than they could chew by, significantly. And that was... I really did not like that force there. Aurora did not need to go in for that. I understand what they wanted to kill. Everybody was low. They were looking for something, but they got this don't die button, and they've got 2 of them. I really don't like that.
I mean, Aurora... how else do you put that? Yeah. I was kind of hoping you would say scuffed instead of instead of that, but gets the point across either way. I definitely agree with you. I didn't really like how forced that was. I know they were able to get the Khepri ult out early though, so I guess maybe they thought if we can just land on X and just delete him before the ability is used. I don't know, but it seems like they're feeling themselves.
I think it was just a bit too... They thought they had enough damage to kill the Khepri before the ultimates would come out, and they just didn't, unfortunately. I don't remember if they landed both on Bari and Khepri, but they just spread out there, and that makes it so much worse. But now they are looking for this Khepri again. A little bit of damage going his way, but it just looks like they're kind of poking and prodding. See that this Mordred has gone into this Prophetic Cloak, which has been something that is, much more of a continuous purchase for a lot of solo laners. It's because of how the item stacks, and then it gives this good defensive stats with the mitigation it applies. It gives cooldown, which is something that is, a little bit difficult to fit into builds. So, into a magical defense he needs to build, so it fits. Right now, Gold Fury pulled.
Root the silence. Donut Doug in some serious trouble. Able to make his way out. Sundering Art going to get used, but the Raw Eevee gonna snipe the Gold Fury away. As no kills here, but a Gold Fury into the pockets of the Royal Jesters, and they are not gonna let themselves be walked away this easy.
It is a... Man, that was just... Cole Football just took it, and that was only what it... That's really all it was. Or not Cole Football. Why am I saying that? That's the wrong name. Eevee took it, and it is a... man, I'm feeling repeats from the last set. That's why I'm thinking about it. Because the last set, Eevee or Kill Cam Kenny just out-sundered Aurora almost every single time.
Namely, Kill Cam Kenny.
It was brutal.
Speaking of Kill Cam Kenny, Tally Beads going to be used to make sure this Khepri is able to get out alive. Aurora very nearly helping Tito pick up a kill there.
Yeah, that is unfortunate that he was able to slip away for the Warriors, but fortunate if you are the Jesters. I am right there. We have to have learned from last set, right? Because now we have proven again that we got out secure. We need to fix this. We need to fix it as soon as possible, because this is something that Ra needed to be found and identified and taken out. Khepri teleported over to the right side. I don't know what exactly he's looking for. Looks like they're posturing for Pyro? No, they're not. It's kind of weird. I don't know why.
It's definitely a weird teleport.
I guess it's just he didn't want to take too much farm from his carry. That's all it really was. He wanted to, you know, just get mobile. Get mobile on the map, just see exactly. He wanted to get some vision down. That's all it really was. But we see now that Donut Doug lead has still been maintained. He's got two levels, maybe 1.5. He's got this Odysseus bow, I believe it's still called. I don't remember, or is it that's not the Sunbeam bow, is it? It's Odysseus bow. It's still Odysseus bow.
You got it right. Don't second guess yourself.
It's just that they used Odysseus bow's icon for a little bit. Snooze dies. Oof.
Three-man gank over into that solo lane that they just watched the Khepri go into. What do you expect?
I mean, Kali didn't even get an assist. Kali wasn't even there.
Oh boy, talking about this Kali. She took the 1v1 and Sun Protege feeling the pain. Dear Lord, that health bar went gone real fast. Donut Doug, however, caught in that back end. Bead's gonna be used. Beautiful silence. Kill Cam Kenny, on the other hand, cannot take the damage. ADC level damage is just too much. And Tiny Threat's gonna pick up Eevee on the back end as well. Beautifully timed plays out of the Warriors of Albion here. And that should be a free Fire Giant for this team.
This is going to take a little bit of time. Actually, with the Kali damage, it should be good. Merlin being able to switch stances so frequently with this World Stone. The way this Merlin is built with this aspect. But please, are we going to lose this? I do not want to lose this. Okay, Kali's going to die.
They identified the Nemesis. Donut Doug going to take down some Protege and survive the encounter. And that's going to be Bari Ultimate expended, but Tito not really going to chase any further than that. Forces out what he needs to. This should just be a tier 1 tower falling.
Yeah, I mean, right there, that is a Fire Giant secured because of how poorly the fight went. And again, I said this, I believe I said this last set, but for Donut Doug on a different pick. It was the Amaterasu, that this pick needs to go well for it to be justified. This Nemesis isn't doing much of anything. And I don't really see where the pick is warranted. You've had picks like Achilles that were up that you could have went to. You had picks like this Mordred that was up that you could have went to. You had picks that I feel like are so much more Sun Prod that aren't this Nemesis that you could have went to and you could have played for. This Loki was something he went crazy with last set. I know Doug played it, but he also played it and he went nuts with it. I just don't know why exactly Nemesis is what we opted for here. It's baffling because I really haven't seen any impact from it.
You know, to go a step further with your with what you're saying here, some Protege. That last set, the one that didn't count, never mind. Donut Doug, he wants to get in there, and he is pumping numbers. Look at the health bar of the Khepri right now. All that damage was done in 2 seconds.
Your team has destroyed a left
that is wild. That is a lot of damage going that way, and that is just because of how ahead this Kali is. She's got the Executioner now. So she has just all of this damage. She's got yellow numbers galore. Aurora is somewhere where he's just not supposed to be. The Xerxes Hexstone used.
Alley Beach used, and so is the Searing Pain. That's going to be off the mark. Yet again, we're looking at some more tower shred here. And should be just a soft defense here around the tier 1. As we set up for this, Aurora gonna try to get a hammer throw in there, and the Anvil of Dawn up in the air. Tiny Threat trying to keep someone off of him. Sunprod going to fall. Crow gonna find that kill. Aurora gonna back out of tower line. And Tiny Threat barely survived the encounter with Sun Protege. As Sunprod not in the area, but Aurora is. Aurora taking a lot of damage from the tower. They do eventually get it. Crow stepping into the mid lane. Phoenix. Donut Doug able to take that one down. Eevee rooted out and dead. Donut Doug gonna put him down. Unstoppable has this Kali been.
The Jesters, the Jesters is the Sunprod show is what they have been for most of this season. And we gave him, like, a backstage role. I don't know why we did that. I just feel like Kepri's just dead in 2 seconds. I don't know why we did this to ourselves. I don't know. Sunprod's the main character of this team. I'm just gonna say it. Sunprod's the main character of this team, and we've not allowed him to be the main character. We've completely, like, neutered this guy's potential for this game. And it's all stems from this Nemesis pick. Snoozism's dead, and this is brutal.
Snoozes him down. That is going to be Crow with the ultimate used there. Crow going to find some Protege as well. This should be the end of the game. Ra going to use Searing Pain to try and defend. Donut Doug going to find Macwheel as well. Capri going to have to ult himself, but it won't be enough. Aurora with a multi-man stun diving into the fountain as we end game 1. Warriors of Albion going to go up 1-0 in the rematch of the year.
I'm going to say it again. Give Sunprod something that he could be the main character he needs to be for this team. Why are we giving him Nemesis, dog? He went nuclear last set on picks like this Loki. He was given the Hercules 1 game, but he's not going to get that. Give him the Loki. Give him the Susano. Give him stuff to go absolutely bonkers on. Don't give him a pick that has to play this kind of weird side of the fight or, you know, I don't know. Don't give him a Nemesis. Give him something that he could just go explosive on.
I've seen Nemesis players get really, really explosive, right? Like, they can do damage.
Pick.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm trying to lead into that a little bit, right? I've seen Nemesis players do some damage, do some work, but there's a specific reason and a specific way they do it. Sunprod, as much as I guarantee he probably can play this pick, you said it earlier on the desk, he can play the pick. Just because you can does not mean you should. But one thing we should do is go ahead and take a quick break. Hello everybody, and welcome to game number 2 of the Athens Division Rematch Finals. MechanisCaduceus back here again with NotAValveGame, of course, on his channel. As he pointed out, for game number 1, exclamation point, rematch for the details on that. Not going to hash back into that one. Royal Jesters immediately going to ban out the Aladdin.
Not surprised. Aladdin is something that Doug was playing in ADC in ranked, and so I'm sure he's more than capable of playing it in jungle. Warriors of Albion respond with the Hercules. They're not making the mistake of giving Prod that back. I said it at the end of the last game, and I'm going to say it again. Prod is the main character of this Jesters team. He's the protagonist. We need to give him something that allows him to be that guy. He needs to be that guy, and I don't want to see him on this Nemesis again. Kali, I think, should be the ban away from the Jesters here, because Kali went absolutely turbo-nuclear. I don't think... What did they ban last time? Was it the Fenrir? No, that was the Warriors. They banned... what?
They banned Aladdin...
Agni.
That's what it was, yes. And there it is, Aladdin Kali.
They're probably going to play for the Agni, I think. This Agni crit aspect style is something that is absolutely disgusting. And it is... The thing is, magical crit damage is something that you could barely build any defense into. So Aurora and Crow's game have become infinitely harder because Agni is pressing his left click button and you're dying to magical crits.
Yeah, I want to say something about that, against that, however you want to put it. I wish there was more I could say. There really just is not great defensive options.
That's all, like...
I didn't want to say it. But yeah,
Don't worry,
no.
I'll say what we need to. As a tank player, I need to say it.
I mean, brother, you have a support main right here with you.
I know, but you just want to help everybody. I want to see everything burn. We're different kinds of tanks. Merlin and Thor picked up by the Warriors. That is the run back. I'm not surprised to see it. Both did very well last game.
Both did very well last game, and both did so with their aspects, as pointed out. Just how good these two picks are when they have their aspects. And the Mordred going to be taken away from Crow this time by the Royal Jesters, taking it second overall for their side, and then Ra going to be in the mid lane yet again. So we have Agni, Mordred, Ra for the Royal Jesters. What are you expecting to see out of their support and jungle?
Well, I know for a fact this Mordred is more than likely going to solo lane. Snooze and Crow both have relatively similar god pools. Achilles, Mordred are up in their top 3. So I'm not surprised. I need to see Prod on something he can get active. Susano, I think, is one thing he could look for. Loki is another. I need to see activity. Hunbats is another thing that he could definitely go to. It's a pick that can, once it hits level 5, just look to set up. It can look to set up for itself and do all this damage. That could be Uller jungle.
Yeah, I would love to see an Ull jungle. Are they doing it again? Please tell me Aurora's doing it again.
Even gods must heed the scales of fate.
Nemesis. This character's cursed, man. This character's cursed. I saw Doug play this Nemesis in semis. It did absolutely nothing. This Nemesis kind of just spectated the match. The Guan Yu, Aurora has shown that it building mostly intelligence has, been pretty powerful. And you build this Rod of Asclepius, so the anti-heal effects aren't as strong. And why build anti-crit when you could just heal it back up? This Ares, though, I really like this pick.
Ares, a phenomenal looking pick. And the Susano, you called it! The Susano is in the game. Mr. 22-5 himself is back, baby.
This is the flashy pick that we need to. It's the protagonist here. That's what we need. We need protagonist plays.
May the gods of Valkyrie surround you.
Hold on a second. Give me a moment to process this.
That is
actually
glory.
Not a Nemesis.
We do have a bug, a visual bug. It is Uller, and
should be corrected now.
I'm going to be honest. I still think it's Uller jungle.
I hope not. Please don't do that to my heart, bud.
Okay, Doug played it in semis and went absolutely turbo nuclear on it. Tito also, he's a carry player, right? But he also has filled in on a bunch of scrims and a bunch of games, and he's played a bunch of different roles. So I would not be surprised to him playing this Thor and it being, a pseudo man lane. You just run it down and beat the hell out of this Agni. But it also could just be Uller ADC with Tito, which is perfectly fine, and then Donut Doug on the Thor, which would be much more standard. I don't think Doug is going to play this Odin or this Guan Yu. That just, while I think he's capable of playing them, it just does not fit his style of jungle. Doug likes to come in after the fight has started and take picks from there, right? Guan Yu and Odin both do not do that.
I mean,
Odin engages the fight, and Guan Yu sits in the middle of his team and heals them up, dashes in, does some damage, dashes out, heals his team up. It's not a Donut Doug kind of character. Thor, on the other hand, he can come in after the fight starts when this Odin or this Guan Yu engages, and he can do what Doug wants to do. Sunprod is finally going to do what Sunprod wants to do on the Susano, though.
Sunprod is very much getting set up to do Sunprod things. I don't know, just carry entire games, maybe even entire sets. Sunprod, I mean, I said it before, gonna say it again, can't say it enough. 22-5 in the set the last time he played this. So insane pick for Sunprod, but can we see here in game number 2 whether it is going to be an insane game out of Sunprod?
Well, is it going to be another 22-5 performance? We'll have to find out. Transitioning into game now, Sunprod is our focus right now on the cam. It is. I got to see this guy go crazy. That last game was a fake performance. We were warming up. We were getting the buttons ready. By the buttons, I mean the buttons on our controller. We had the wrong controller picked up. We need the right one. You know, Sunprod also, by the way, plays on controller. So he went 25 or 22-5 on controller with Susano going absolutely crazy. Junglers starting the same way they did the last time. Mordred though looking for an invade on this Odin.
For an invade, and I believe he did not get that. That is correct, but he stopped Odin from getting his own camp too, which is interesting.
I mean, Odin getting walked at there. I think Odin was just trying to secure the smalls, but Odin cannot fight the camp and Mordred at the same time. Odin is kind of putting some hurt onto Snooze, but now Snooze has cleared the wave, so Odin has to back away. Crow, though, in a bit of danger. Snooze taking the stun. Not enough to kill, but it's still a lot of poke between these two solo laners.
Not enough to kill quite yet, and is sustaining off of that health chalice. You mentioned the overall sustain of Snoozism on this Mordred as he puts in some real work on that Odin. Crow sitting under half now as we rotate back over to the duo lane here. Kill Cam Kenny gonna try and help out with this red buff right quick. Gonna take the smalls, and notice that Aurora's on it. Isn't able to take it away. I do believe that Aurora and company got
Tito.
that one.
Yeah, Tito was on it. So, it's on Tito's waistband. So they were able to secure it. Eevee running back this Ra. I actually wanted to talk about this because the Ra had some good moments, but I also felt like it just wasn't enabled after a certain point, right? Because nobody else was taking the attention away from him. Nobody else was really a threat. And so they were just able to kill Ra every single fight, and there was nothing he could do about it. Khepri was able to, you know, stall time, but Khepri was the one having to burn his ultimate on himself, and then Ra was just dead. You know, Ra just couldn't really live. So I need to see this Ra be a bit more, have a bit more impact by virtue of his team having a bit more impact. Tiny threat, though.
Pull in from Sunprod. That should be a dead Merlin, and indeed it is. Sun Prodigy going to be the first one on the board. First blood going to the Royal Jesters.
Yeah, that is exactly what you want to see from Sunprod right there. Getting active on the map early on and getting a lead. Already level 5, where Doug is not level 5. He's looking towards this dual lane, but I don't know if he's going to find anything. I don't know what ward that is, but it seems by how far the Jesters are backing up that it was a Jesters ward up at that top. So Doug is not going to be able to find anything.
I do believe that we have the words in the proper colors, right? Or is there a bug on that I don't know? Okay.
I don't think that has been added yet, but
okay.
I am not sure. It is.
I am okay with the idea of being wrong. Donut Doug, however, is not. Donut Doug once in. Kill Cam Kenny able to walk his way through the wall thanks to the Phantom Shell and barely gets out alive. Look at the damage put into this Ares.
By the way, that is Agni's Phantom Shell, not his. And
Agni's?
that is by the that is because
goodness.
In this situation, right? The only person really with CC that is gonna consistently hit this Agni in the late game is going to be this Thor, right? And Thor is probably gonna look more towards this Ra than he is going to be this Agni, because Agni can just kind of kill him. Kind of no other way to explain it. Right now, we have the Jesters looking for another fight over here. Crow's rotating over to the side, but it looks like they're kind of just posturing in the mid lane.
Searing Pain going to be used, and this Thor, Donut Doug, in a lot of trouble here. Snoozism not going to hit the ult. Can he get the kill anyway? Yes, he will. Snoozism picks off Donut Doug. Sun Prodigy will find Tiny Threat and pick up the kill there. Able to do so with the help of his mid laner, Eevee, as they move over to this right side speed camp here and continue to find farm across the map up to and including their enemies.
We put Sunprod on a pick. He's actually like, I'm not saying he's not like capable of playing Nemesis, but Doug, put him on a pick he can get active on, and we look at what he does. This is night and day from last game. Last game, he was getting his pockets ran. To be blunt, he was getting his pockets ran by Donut Doug. And this time around, he's doing he's running the pockets this time. He's stealing away the camps. He's taking what he wants, and it's his. That's because it is his. And his teammates are there to back him up. And that was exactly what I want to see from the Jesters for the rest of this set, is just enabling Sunprod. Looks like that's what they're doing on this left side.
On that left side, indeed. Snooze is on the right, taking half his health, but Sunprog gonna make sure that Tiny Threat can't even feel safe in his own jungle. Wandering around, looking to see what he can find. Takes a ward for himself. You know, you said earlier, Sun Protege, the protagonist of this team. So who's their antagonist? Who's the primary antagonist from WoWa here?
I need to think about that, as we need to think about what the funeral preparations need to be made for Tito. So he goes down right there to Sunprod Diving Tower. For the Jesters team, or for the Warriors team, that's a difficult question to answer. And the antagonist, I don't think is on the Warriors of Albion team, but that's a completely different thing. Well, we could discuss that at a different point in time because it doesn't relate to the game. It is right now, we have Sunprod with this absolutely explosive start. And Donut Doug has to play this catch-up game where Sunprod can kind of just walk where he wants and take what he wants. Donut Doug is kind of scrounging for camps, where Sunprod is, while he doesn't have to farm his own camps because his teammates are doing that, he's able to farm the enemy camps. Look here at this invade, though, on this left side.
An invade out of the Ull and out of the Guan, but it's not around quite yet. So the leap away onto the Gold Fury. Killcam Kenny is in the area. We're gonna get an engage. Juan, you going in. Killcam Kenny stunned out. A lot of damage into the Ares, but Killcam Kenny will fall. Donut Doug credited for the kill on that one as the Warriors of Albion get themselves on the board.
This is what the Warriors have been doing for most of the season, is at certain points, Aurora will just say, we're grouping here, right? Come with me. We're looking for a pick. And it's just what we've been doing. A lot of the other teams in OSL just don't do that sort of thing. And it's not something that a lot of the Jesters, being on the opposite side of the bracket, or of the groups, is used to, because nobody else is really doing that. Aurora just at certain points in the game will say, come here, we're doing this, right? And then his team's like, bet, we're here. And that's exactly what that was. We're finding somebody who walks up, because they pulled Gold Fury there, a complete fake out for exactly what I was saying, is Aurora's looking for a pick. They get a kill, it goes to Doug, which allows him to catch up a little bit, not exactly on even terms with Sunprod, but allows him to catch up, get the momentum back in his court, and lets him, get a bit of fight back. And that's, what the Warriors have been doing all season.
The Warriors have been doing a lot of things all season, but Aurora...
Winning.
Winning is a very big one. We said this before the previous set, and Aurora going to not need the cavalry charge when the Anvil of Dawn is around. Dear Lord.
We'll see you next morning. Damn. That guy is gone. Man. That is, this is exactly what they're doing. They're looking for plays now. Kenny is a target, and now that he's behind on this Ares, Crow is also getting absolutely destroyed right now, having to leap over the wall. Snooze does not have the ultimate to chase, and even if he did, Crow does have that shell, so he is okay for now, having to reset. But like I said before, right, we are looking at Kenny. Kenny is now the target. Kenny does have that Xerxes Hexstone finally, so he's got a bit more safety, but we've got walls to put in front of it. Kenny is a behind Ares, which is, if you are a Smite player who's known about it, it is a bad sign.
So, I gotta make a point of this, because you corrected me on Tito last week. That's not Xerxes, that's Circes.
Everybody calls it Xerxes Hexstone.
I don't know why. It's just...
I'm not trying to be like I'm wrong, you're wrong, I'm right, like sort of thing. But Tito is, everybody calls him Tito, and everybody calls it Xerxes Hexstone. Or some people call it like John Pork.
I'd be down to call it John Pork.
Some people,
Xerxes
porking
is
it,
a completely different dude.
I mean, he's porking it, so...
Speaking of a different dude, Aurora coming in. Killcam Kenny thinks he's that guy. Aurora showing him otherwise. That is not a lot of damage done to this Guan Yu. Some Protege has to get out of danger quickly as well. Donut Doug looking for it and was led off just enough. Oh, Anvil of Dawn, he's up in the air, he's looking for it. Some Protege, the bead's gonna come out. Donut Doug not able to pick it up quite yet. Donut Doug gonna try and chase him into the tower, not gonna find it. Donut Doug misses the wall, not gonna get the stun on it. Aurora gonna make sure he gets out. But dear Lord, Sunprod finding a way to live in a situation he shouldn't have, and Tiny Threat putting Eevee into the dirt.
The fact that, by the way, Crow lived there at like at 12 HP, I think that has to do with one, Aurora's heal, followed up by his 3, because Ares pull sucks. But that's besides the point. Another fight coming out.
Another fight coming out, and Killcam Kenny is going to get some good cripples down, but I don't think we're looking at much more than that right now.
No, I thought it was gonna be a bit more. It looked like Snooze wanted something, but really, just Kenny's not in condition to fight, so they're not gonna risk it. Right there, that is just, they couldn't finish the kill on Crow because Crow has a displacement immunity in that 3. It is a displacement, then a stun with that Ares ultimate. So if you have a displacement immunity, you can avoid it. And that's just...
Ares ult was nerfed.
Yeah, I know.
That
ability sucks. Ares got 2 good abilities. The 1 and 2.
The 3 does some decent damage and helps with camp clear. I mean,
if you hit your 1.
I want to say you're wrong. I really want to, but I can't. Like, you have to hit your chains, even more than you did in Smite 1. In Smite 1, you already really needed to hit your chains.
Speaking of hitting your chains, I feel like Kenny has been... Every time we've seen him, he's been hitting these chains, but it hasn't really mattered, right? This is bad.
This is a really bad spot for Crow. Is able to immune out the ult, but doesn't matter. Some Prodigy's just going to set him right back down.
If he was up for like 5 more seconds, that shell actually saves his life, I think. Looks like a wall comes out. We're looking at Ra.
Trapped. Not able to get into the Searing Pain either. Tiny Threat gonna pick up the kill on that side of the map. Some Prodigy, on the other hand, gonna teleport over. And this Ull is up quite a ways, but they're gonna look toward this Gold Fury. Agni in the area. Thor keeping eyes out. As I just heard an ult. That should be a very dead Agni. Shell going to be used. Shell is down for this Agni. Agni trying to run away. Thor going to be brought back in by Killcam Kenny. Able to find a target that he can pull, but it doesn't matter when he takes this much damage and will eventually fall. Tito going to pick up the kill on that one. Into the air, Crow brings everyone up. Some Prodigy gonna put Tiny Threat down. Can Prodigy make his way out? Searing Pain going to be used. And in pain is Some Prodigy. But he should be fine, at least for the moment. Aurora had no idea where Prodigy was until just a moment ago. Snoozism keeping everyone entertained in the meantime. Can Some Prodigy get something done here? The damage is good. The disengage is better. And it looks like, out of everything, it's just Tiny Threat.
Yeah, the funny thing is the only person with significant anti-heal is the one that goes down, which made it very, very difficult to kill the Jesters, and also made it very, very difficult to kill the Warriors. We need more anti-heal, boys. We need it in the pocket. I want to see a Brawler's Beat Stick out of both junglers. I want to see some... Oh!
How about some Anvil of Dawn instead? But Donut Doug is going to be the one to fall. Eevee going to take out Aurora. Searing Pain goes hard. Tino going to pick up Sunprime in the back end. That is a huge shutdown for the Warriors of Albion here in game number 2.
That is... The Jesters just take down... the Sunprime goes down, which is a big shutdown. But the Jesters in the same time take out the Gold Fury, and 2 more themselves. So that is a huge turn in... That's a huge turn in their favor as well. So you've got this now 3k gold lead as we approach 15 minutes. And we've got this... We got to find a way to take down 1, to prevent all this, healing, the sustain we have. And I need to see more anti-heal. I get that we have Odin Cage, right? But that's a temporary big circle with anti-heal. I want more anti-heal. I want a Brawlers. I want a Runus Ankh. I want Uller can go it too. He can go into the Brawlers if he wants. You can go a Lernian Bow if you want to. I don't recommend it, but you could. It's
Okam stepping up, gets the cripple down onto a roar. Not going to see much more than that at the moment.
I don't know. Right now, they're just kind of posturing. I actually really like Snooze's pickup here on this Spirit Robe. The Spirit Robe here, because a lot of the damage, or a lot of the times that they're going to try and kill you, is going to be set up off of our Merlin knock-up, or Merlin pull-in, the stun off of Thor, Odin stun, Guan Yu stun, Uller stun. It's got to be off of a CC. And every time you're hit by a hard CC, Doug just passed my window. Every time you're hit by a hard CC, you gain a 40 of each proc, and you heal for 6% of your maximum health over the duration. But Killcam Kenny's looking to get active.
Killcam Kenny looking to get active. Is it the right play, though? Beautiful Searing Pain! It's not going to matter. Killcam Kenny unable to pull anybody in, thanks to the changes made to Ares. Thank you, Hi-Rez. I didn't mean it.
I didn't mean it. Oh, no, man. Looks like what they're meaning here now is to get this Pyromancer. Guan Yu's in. Are we going to get it asunder? Sunprod gets it.
Sunprod going to find the Pyromancer, going to find a tower as well, apparently, while Killcam Kenny going to be put in the dirt. Gray screen for him. Snoozism going to get trapped. Phantom Shell going to make sure he can get away. Raw, can he put in enough damage? Snoozism, how is he this healthy? How is he alive in the middle of all that? Sun Protege gonna put in enough damage, force people to back the heck off. But Thor tried for a wraparound there for a moment, didn't find it. Sun Prod keeping everybody at bay, and Eevee somehow helping Snoozism stay alive through all that. That was insane.
Okay. That is partially Eevee, but this is also, we didn't buy anti-heal into Mordred that was hitting him consistently, right? We didn't buy enough. We have Phoenix Shield, and we have Mordred 1. Mordred, you need to buy anti-heal into Mordred. You have to. It is not a you can. It is a have to. It is a must. This character heals a ridiculous amount. We're looking to put a ridiculous amount of damage into Killcam Kenny to chase on.
Killcam Kenny into the ultimate, pulls Tito back in. That should be a very dead Ull. Is a dead Ares as well. Sun Prodigy gonna fall in the back end of the Thor on the other side of the map. Can't be doing that.
I do believe the Merlin was also there trying to get trying to help him out. So it wasn't just the Thor, but it's Sun Prod has stopped getting active, which is something that I think is a product of one, just him himself, but also a product of his team not following him around, like, you know, setting up for him to get active anymore. The Warriors of Albion have taken the pace of the game, despite being behind, and have allowed it to be, you know, theirs. And Snoozism is getting really, really aggressive here.
You want to talk about activity and Snoozism? I guess he heard you on the back end. There's the ult. Bean's going to be used. Tiny Threat not going to be found by Searing Pain, but Snoozism will show him the gray screen anyway. Packing away is the Mordred and the Raw. They got what they came for. Anvil of Dawn up, down, but not around anymore. Phantom Shell gonna be used by Agni. And where I thought this Raw was going to get put down, it very quickly turned into an incredibly bad fight for Woa.
The Warriors right there had to back away, even after that Thor dunk down, right? Because I'm going to be honest, I think Nemean Lion soloed Merlin there, in part. Like, Nemean Lion, Merlin put so much damage into Snooze, and then he popped Nemean Lion and reflected so much damage back. And most of Merlin's damage, if not all of it, outside of a couple of his abilities, is dot damage. So he's just soaking and reflecting so much back, which means it's so difficult to hit this Mordred ever. It is... Somebody else has got to do it, and we don't have, like, a shred character. We don't... Uller is not a shred ADC. He's a burst. He's more of a assassin-like playstyle. Not exactly... He throws an axe, he bursts you down with his abilities with basic attacks weaved in between. He's not the traditional spread hunter. I say he's not the traditional, you know, crit hunter. I was gonna say, like this Agni, which is wild. But this Agni with the Crit Hunter, he's not that playstyle. He's a burst kind of character. We're getting active, but not going to get much from it. It's still... This Mordred's going to be a problem. We need more anti-heal. It's got to happen.
Mordred, it absolutely has been identifying as a problem in this game, and it's been very interesting to see. Killcam Kenny, however, lingering around a corner, level 11 on this Ares. Cersei Sexstone, he wants in! He wants Tito, not going to be able to find him, not going to be allowed to find him. Up onto the horse and quickly out of it is Aurora, gets multi-man stuns. Anvil of Dawn, up, down, can the EV be saved? No, it cannot! Donut Doug gonna pick up a kill. Donut Doug gonna teleport away. As now, on the back end of this fight, without their mid laner, the Jesters trying to fight into the Sun Prod all alone somewhere. As Snoozism fights in the middle of 4, this healing cannot be denied. Snoozism somehow still alive. Killcam Kenny along there with him. And we're going to sacrifice the ADC, but Tito going to walk through the flames and put himself on the menu.
He didn't even walk through the flames. He just got crit. Stand in front of him. Oh, that is such a... That is such a tiny mistake. That is such a... I hate to say such like a noob mistake right there. But that was such that was such an avoidable mistake by the Warriors of Albion right there. 1 from Tito for not standing behind his teammates, and 2 from his teammates for not standing in front of Tito. It's Agni with crit, dog. He's gonna kill you. You can't be in his basic attack range. You can't. It's just, especially as a squishy, you can't be there. And when you're that low health, you should not. Tito should not have died there, and that was a combined effort for him to have fallen right there.
That is the most wild and yet accurate statement I think I've heard about a situation like that ever.
That
was
fight,
a
by the way,
combined effort.
That fight, by the way, only Snooze is only alive, by the way, because we don't have any anti-heal. We need more anti-heal, guys. Odin bought a Divine Ruin. He's got intelligence scaling, so I mean it's something, but I didn't think he was going to go Divine Ruin. We need some cooldown.
You know, I don't entirely hate it though.
I don't hate it either, but it's weird. It looks weird, and it makes me uncomfortable.
It feels so wrong.
It makes me uncomfortable. Like, I don't like how it looks.
It feels
I was
so
going to say
wrong.
something way out of pocket right there, but I'm not going to say that. It's my channel, but this is also an OSL cast. I can't say that. A fight... Typhoon.
Sun Prodigy wanted in, once out now. Typhoon was good, but the ult out of Mac Wheel might be even better. Tiny Threat gonna be put into the dirt.
Oh, man. That is... Ooh, that is gross. That is absolutely gross.
Some absolutely disgusting damage into this Agni. Like, it is insane. And on top of that...
Unfortunately, sometimes that happens, though. You get too curious, you poke around things you don't do. And unfortunately, right now, though, there is an engage going down. Snoozism is under threat. The Gold Fury is secured by Mac Wheel. Chase going on, though. Snoozism is the one that they're looking for, but he has the Pursue the Weak following out. The Ring of Spears comes down, and they're looking for more. The Purification Beads comes down from the Raw. Ares looking to pull one back in. He will not get anybody because of that Team Purification Beads. And everybody will reset from that. I mean, the Jesters do get that. Oh,
Did the Void come visit me again? Okay, the Void visited me.
You got pulled in. You got pulled in.
2 for 2 in these, right? God.
It happens. It happens. Sometimes it gets greedy.
Either the Void greeted for me or I greeted for the Void. I'm not sure which at this point.
Those are interchangeable at this point. We don't know.
Will we ever?
Regardless, the Gold Fury was taken away, and that was more so because Snooze is such a distraction. He just soaks damage. This is exactly what Mordred wants to do, by the way. It is just sit there and soak damage. All I want to do is take as much cooldowns as I can before having to leave a fight, so that my jungler, so that my mid laner, so that my carry are not taking those numbers, and they can go absolutely bananas. All right? we're enabling Sunprod, and that's exactly what we want to do. Sunprod, though, has been relatively quiet for a lot of this latter half of the game. Like, the past 15 minutes, he's been really quiet.
Last 15 minutes, not only has he been really, really quiet, but this Thor has very, very slowly gotten more and more and more active. Went from at one point being, I believe, 1-2-1 to now 4-2-4. Should be on a 3-kill streak right now. So definitely someone that Royal Jesters should be wanting to take down right now is Donut Doug. As we do see a bit of hiding away in the bush is Aurora. No fair, he can't bush.
Tito knows.
Camping bush.
No, he doesn't.
Tito definitely should have known, as Sunprod going to steal away the camp, maybe even steal away Tito's life. He's not careful. Beads used, it does not matter. The Typhoon just does too much damage. Pendulum Blade expended. Never mind. Crow is massive. Comes in and saves his jungler, at least for the moment. Eevee doesn't care. Eevee's got the Searing Pain, special for you.
That was a series of just unfortunate and then fortunate and then unfortunate events if you are the Warriors of Albion right there. Tito went around the corner. He peeked. He was like, is anybody here? No, nobody's here. Okay, we're going to walk away. And then Sunprod's like, nah, dog, I'm here. Fight coming on in the mid lane, though. Kenny's looking to get active. Can they?
Kenny looking to get active. That's 3 chains, but none of them any good. As Snoozism picks one up and puts one down, but not going to find a kill just yet. A lot of damage being pumped in by this Jester's draft, but not going to find anything for it except some good poke, and that's a Guan Yu on the other side. They're just going to heal it away. Speaking of the Guan Yu stepping up. They know that the Pyromancer now. Around goes this Odin. Snoozism going to get the Pyromancer. They're going to sunder that away. Snoozism with the disengage. Tally Beads going to be used. Kill Cam Kenny just trying to walk away and survive. Snoozism on the way back in. That is going to be the cage yet again.
A lot of damage going their way, though. It's the Eye of the Storm that's used by Snooze to slow down Crow, and Crow has to leap away. Looks like they're going for another fight.
Searing Pain and Typhoon going to be expended. Sun Prodigy gotta find 1. Sun Prodigy gotta find 2. Make it 3. Never mind. Kill Cam Kenny on the board instead. They'll leap out, and there's his 3rd. Sun Prodigy with a triple kill through the ranks of the Warriors.
Bro heard me when I said he was being too quiet, and all of a sudden he got loud. He said, I heard you, and you need to shut up. You made us wait a long time to start our match, so now you need to stop talking and start talking about the game, because now we're here. We're looking to end this game. Donut Doug's the only thing that stands between them and this game, too.
Donut Doug gonna try for the stun, not gonna get that. Typhoon gonna rip through the Titan and through Donut Doug. This Titan has no health, and game 2 is going to be decided here. Royal Jesters even this up 1 apiece, and we get to a best of 3.
That was we put Sunprod on a pick that actually allows him to get active, and look at that, he got active. He did get quiet towards like that middle center of the game, and I was concerned about that, and then he got loud again, which is exactly what we needed to do. I keep saying it, Sunprod's the main character of this Royal Jesters team. We need to enable him, and once we do that, we are successful. I mean, you look at the numbers, right? He is slightly snoozes solo lane damage. Listen, I'm a solo laner. We know a little bit of that. It's fake, but he's just keeping up with the solo laner. He's out damaging everybody on his team by a good margin, and everybody on the other team by a decent margin. It is just he's getting active. Give him picks that allow him to get active.
Sun Prodigy, by the way, outdoes everybody on the other team. He alone, it would have been 13-10 in kills if you said only Sun Prodigy's kills matter. That's a pretty good day in the office for a jungler to be able to say, I matched the entire other team.
I beat the entire other team in damage. Like, that's what I did. That is disgusting, how much damage that we were just able to do. Man, we gotta put this guy in check again. We gotta do that. We put him in check with the Herc ban, but we gotta put him in check again for the Warriors.
We'll see what kind of jail the Warriors of Albion set up for some protege here in a moment. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Athens Division Finals rematch between the Warriors of Albion and the Royal Jesters. MechanisCaduceus back here yet again, NotAValveGame. And again, for anyone just joining us after games number 1 and 2, we have this rematch because of a certain situation where the entirety of the finals match got voided. If you want to know more, exclamation point, rematch, as Hercules is the first thing taken off the board, and as we saw from Sunprod's Susano, absolutely warranted.
It is the Hercules ban, not surprising. I'm going to be honest. I feel like if we get something that answers the Susano better, we don't have to ban it. Right? But we could respect ban it and see if we can we get away with giving them the Fenrir? Is that okay? You know, I'm not entirely too sure if that is a necessary sort of. We just didn't really have a response to it. Maybe getting ourselves something like the Ares. I know Aurora can play Ares. It's literally his Twitch profile picture is Ares' shield. Aurora can play Ares. The guy knows. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick that up instead. We need something to stuff the Susano, though. We need to slow him down if that is going to be the pick that Sunprod goes to. But it also could be they pick Susano super, super late into the draft. So it's not going to be something they pick immediately. The Warriors are going to get the Agni this time, though, because the Kali is banned away. So the Jesters are going to respond. They might go with this non-dying comp, but the Mordred is what they secure.
Mordred did really, really well in the Warriors last game. Not enough anti-heal unless Mordred is able to just walk right through and around them. Sometimes not necessarily doing a lot of damage, but just sustaining through so much damage that it really did not matter. And RJ not gonna let Aurora have his signature pick. Gonna take the Ares and run it back, even though it looked like Kilcam Kenny was struggling for a while there.
I'm going to be honest, I think that says that they're looking to play for Susano. So what exactly is that going to mean for the Warriors? Kraken is what that's going to mean. I think that is going to Crow. I don't think it's going to Aurora. I don't really see a reason why you wouldn't give it to Crow. Kraken wins lanes. He wins lanes. That's what he does. It's how he does it. He has more abilities. He does more damage. He's a magical character, so you can't build physical defense into them. Snooze cannot build that Phoenix Shield that he wants to first into that. And the Ra is swiped away from Eevee. That is interesting.
I actually really like the approach here out of the Warriors of Albion, taking the Ra away from Eevee, telling their mid laner, hey, you know that pick you just did really well on, and in game 2 and did pretty darn good on as well in game 1? Yeah, no, not yours, ours. Find something else.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what else you got in the pool. I'm kind of surprised that the Warriors did not put any thought onto this Hecate, but it looks like that the Jesters are going to this Merlin, and the Warriors is going to be what they pick up here for Macwheel. And if I remember, Macwheel, also known as Macaroni in Smite 1, this guy knows the Lion. He's a pretty good Lion player. I know On Her is different in Smite 2, in a couple of different ways, but I'm sure he's more than capable of playing it. So we'll see what the Warriors end out their draft with.
Does he tell people to
No! This character's cursed, man. Stop picking Nemesis.
The Nemesis being hovered as is a Sobek.
My
ignoring
blood
the Nemesis for a moment and
Even
talking
gods
about the
must heed the
Sobek
scales of fate.
I do like the Sobek, and not so much this Nemesis. Though,
last time Doug played this Nemesis, he did absolutely nothing with it. Last time Sunprod played this Nemesis, he did absolutely nothing with it. This character, I really don't think is good. Unless Doug goes absolutely turbo nuclear, I don't want to see this character ever taken out again. It is just... In semifinals, they played this Nemesis once. It did absolutely nothing. And its matchup in the Susano, I feel like is okay, but it's not great. I don't know. I think their main goal here is probably just going to be trying to kill Mordred. Unless he's going to go, like, Aspect Nemesis and do something really weird, which I don't think he's going to do. I really don't know, Doug. I don't like the Nemesis at all.
So, I do think there is some merit to the Nemesis here, right? Mordred was really it was really hard for the Warriors of Albion to kill Mordred. Buy more anti-heal, I know, I get it, but at the end of the day, the other side of the coin is just burst him down even harder, and Nemesis is the tried and true traditional, you are not tanky because I exist, God. Like, it's as simple as that. So that signals to me the Warriors of Albion are really trying to play the Royal Jesters front to back. They're not going to let the Jesters step up and step through them here in game number 3, I would assume.
I agree with you. I think that there's going to be some form of goal of trying to burst down this Mordred, CC locking him, and making it so that we get the prot shred from this Nemesis, we pluck him with Sobek, we knock him up with Sobek, we stun him with Cabrakan, and then we try and we stun him with Agni. And by this point, if he's not dead, we're screwed. It's kind of just what we're playing for here. But at the same time, we got to slow down this Susano. So are we just sicking Cabrakan at him like a dog? And because Susano really can't kill Cabrakan by any like quick means. So I mean, it's just, man, this Nemesis is going to be the point. Whether or not it's going to be good is really what is the question.
I mean, you have a question, we have an answer. As we get ready to transition over here into game number 3, and we get ourselves a look at what people are starting, and as you pointed out earlier, where they're starting. We're still watching both junglers start at that Scorpion camp that you point out, just the really high XP on that. What are you expecting, say, Sunprod to go into here, considering what he's got to handle differently in this game with this Sobek and this Cabrakan?
I think that he's going to go... I think his build is going to be relatively the same. He's not looking to hit Sobek or Cabrakan. He's waiting for the fight to start, them to go on snooze, and then he's going to come from the side, try to kill Tito or Tiny Threat. Or he's going to try to 1v1 this Nemesis, and he's going to win that. He's going to look towards the same, like, Jotun's Hydra sort of build. He had the Serpent's Fang, I believe he had that time. He's looking to play to kill the squishies. That's what he's trying to do. He's not trying to interact with these tanks at all. That's not his job. It's not his job at all. It's this Anher's job. Merlin can do it. It's not for him. He's not that guy. It's somebody else's deal. He'll do it when the other people are dead. It looks like now that we have sort of, standard start from both teams. Susano is a bit faster on these roads. You are back. You were eaten by the Void once more, but you are back. It looks like you are going into not just the Void, but a laggy abyss, because this First Blood might be coming out soon. Dash in from Tito, looking for the chase on a Mac wheel, but will not find it. Looks like Kill Kim Kenny taking a bit of poke, but in the mid lane at the same time, we're chasing down Sunprod. We're looking, but we're not turning around on Eevee just yet. Now we are. The Slice and Dice tags him. Slow down is there. The body blocks from Doug are perfect. Are we going to find this, though? Tiny Threat. Missing one basic. Missing two basics means we're not going to get the first blood on anybody. We will recover, regardless of whether or not he is able to continue with us or not. We have a neutral state again after all that aggression, and it is a look at the Sobek, and you see the Agni. Aurora is literally just playing this as if you walk too close, I am plucking you and you are dying. That's what I am looking for. Sobek is playing for this kill on this with this Agni, trying to get this Agni a lead. Agni is going to look to itemize towards crit. He went this Lernian bow last time, but Susano is posturing, looking for something, but it doesn't look like Susano's going to find anything just yet. Sunprod resetting to base. Nemesis already on this rotation for the blue buff. Going to secure it for his buddy Cabrakan. And actually, interestingly enough, Cabrakan didn't go Bluestone. He went this Warrior's Axe. Kill Cam Kenny getting aggressive, though. 1 chain, 2 chain. Is he going to get third? He will not. Sobek getting some damage in, but he will tag him with the pluck. Tito looking to get some damage, but won't get too much. Kill Cam Kenny taking some poke, about half health. Will be able to walk away. We've got an impasse now. because where do you make this first play? It looks like Sunprod is trying to get a gank. He's getting a bit antsy. He's looking for this Cabrakan, though. It's this time, though, because Snooze is taking so much damage, Cabrakan has to walk away. Cabrakan has to buy himself some time. He's got that stun coming up, though. It's on cooldown for now. Sunprod pulls him in. Sunprod takes him down. There's the first blood going to his pocket. Brother Foreman from an 8-bit universe right there. The Void took him to a bunch of different places. See, Agni getting aggressive, though.
Void is...
Kenny taking some damage.
Void is dragging me around.
Dragging you around, but do you know who's getting dragged around? Kill Cam Kenny.
Kill Cam Kenny getting dragged around, and oh my lord, Tito finding his way through! Macwheel gonna finally pick that up, but Tito... I don't know how he did it. Tiny Threat also on his way out the door, but not quite able to save himself somehow. As Sunprod just not quite able to find that kill.
I am... Wow, that is... that was so perfect. It was so perfect, and then it just wasn't. That is unfortunate, to say the least. We're taking a lot of damage here, though. And that is now Sunprod's here. The Lurking in the Waters comes down, but you're going to the waters. Aurora falls. Sunprod takes another one for his pocket. 3 kills going into the Susano already. And we got to slow this guy down. We need to stuff him in some way. And I don't think you can... the thing is, right, they picked this Ares early on. They know exactly why they picked the Ares, because they wanted the Susano again. This is a Prod legacy game right now. And like I said before, Prod is the main character. He's the main character of these Jesters, and Prod needs to go nuclear in this set. He went crazy last set.
As you put it yourself, Sun Prodigy, the protagonist in this set, is I hate that I have to ask it like this, but is everything back? Am I here?
You are back. You are returned, and you're no longer afflicted.
Sorry.
Bro peeked his mic on purpose there. That is so funny. Oh my goodness. That is great. But
I had to give a Charlie moment.
I don't know if you I don't know if you were able to watch every bit of that while you were pulled into another dimension. But Susano has 3 kills. And Aurora got a pluck.
Aurora got a pluck, and we'll see what's able to come of that. Macreel able to get out of dodge somehow. Tito put a lot of damage down to him, and you know what? Sun Protege, how about a 4th kill going his way? Tiny Threat over here on the other side, though. They're going to look at the Gold Fury, and it looks like the Royal Jesters, they only just found out 2k damage, or 2k health, excuse me, remaining on this Gold Fury. 1k, looking toward 500. That's a Searing Pain going to be used. It was early! It was early! Aurora failed Kill Cam Kenny! And they did get the Gold Fury overall, but Sun Prodigy going to find Donut Doug on the back end. And oh dear lord, that was way too close for comfort.
That was way too close for comfort, but you know what? Finally, we do get an objective over the Jesters when they were contesting it, because we killed Kill Cam Kenny. I mean, that's what we wanted here. Look at this sitting on the corner. This is such a rank strat. This is a Sun Prod play right here. This is his bread and butter. He was born on the rank streets. He was forged on the rank streets, and that's the strats you're going to get here.
Tiny Threat and Sun Prod, or excuse me, Eevee and Sun Prod there taking down Tiny Threat, and the little bit of damage there on the back end, that just ever so, that ticking damage out of that Merlin, enough to pick up the Raw. Tiny Threat may have taken the character, but certainly did not take Eevee's playstyle. Dear lord.
I mean, right there. That is just kind of exactly what you want to see. We get another pick. Crow's getting some good damage on the Snooze, but there's really only so much damage to put in. That's forced on the Mordred ultimate. Crow, happy to take that. This is exactly what the Cabrakan wants to do, by the way. Having lane control, you know I know a lot about lane control. This lane control that the Cabrakan has is what it's dominant. He wins every lane he has. The only person who could really keep up with him is Hades, because Hades instantly clears the wave. And it is a, you know, Mordred kind of just has to accept the fact that he's going to get shoved in a tower.
Has to accept, has to play around it. Sun Prodigy playing around the fact that he's got Eevee around. Does most of the damage himself. Eevee cleans up the kill. Sun Protege 5-0-2 is this jungler as he continues to go insane on the Susano pick. Heading here into game number 3. The man was already 35, 35-8 on the Susano pick. Crazy numbers.
Man, this Susano is really doing a lot of work. Do we really need to keep banning that Fenrir? I mean, at this point, I didn't think the Susano ban was necessary, but how willing they are to enable it by picking Ares in their first 2 slots, that is... I love what Aurora's doing here, by the way. Just standing here prevents Sunprod from going for the invade. Because he doesn't want to waste the time just hitting Aurora. Because Aurora's not going to die instantly to Sunprod, despite the fact that he doesn't really have any physical defense. It's going to take a very long time. Unfortunately for Tiny Threat, this is not going to take a long time with all this damage that could go his way. Donut Dug's in, though.
Donut Dug's in, and Donut Dug is dead! Not something I thought I'd be saying that quickly, but Eevee had the damage. Sunprod had the CC, and Sunprod in behind. That's Searing Pain out from Raw. That is multiple members of the Royal Jesters in that tier 1 tower, and that's a kill Cam Kenny using the Cirrus's Hexstone to dash away from the entirety of the Warriors of Albion. Aurora not gonna find Mac Wheel. Good beads out of the on her.
I mean, right there, that is just, we're enabling Sunprod to do exactly what he wants to do. And that is play like an absolute monster. He can do whatever he wants. He literally just he killed somebody, walked around the T1, and killed somebody again, and got out with 1 HP. Screw Nemesis. Stop picking this character, man. Nemesis cannot stop what Sunprod wants to do. Nemesis stopped. Do you know what? Nemesis can stop what Sunprod wants to do when he picks it. But we gotta find a way to stuff this guy, to stop him from going any further. This guy is going crazy right now, and like I'm saying, enable this guy, and this is how the Jesters are gonna win. And he kills Tiny Threat again. Have a chicken.
Your middle tower is under attack.
I mean, I guess he just wants some chicken wings, man. He's just out for this Raw. He wants some chicken wings.
Delicioso. It's laser chicken too, so it's probably, you know, cooked a bit.
You know, that would be pretty spicy. About as spicy as this Gold Fury that Aurora this time nearly seals away. But don't worry, Kill Cam Kenny's got the Sunder on lock.
Yeah, he does. By the way, 2 people being level 13 at 11 minutes is gross. If it was just Sunprod, you know, it wouldn't be as bad, but the fact that it is Eevee and Sunprod at level 13 at 11 minutes, now about to hit 12 minutes.
Team has destroyed the Your middle tower has been
Conductor, we have a problem. You know, like, that is not okay. We are looking...
Able to outrun the Crow Stun. Okay.
That is such a Cabrakan moment right there. This is
That
not
was
looking
really
like a Cabrakan moment right now.
the pull back in. Sunprod going into the tower with them. Sunprod the knockup gets it. The damage, will it be there? Damage is there. Sunprod gonna find Crow 8-0-3 on the Susano.
Yeah, that is... Ooh, disgusting. Disgusting right there. I feel like if he got that 1 stun on the Mordred, he might have been able to kill Snooze, but that's a might, you know? That's a maybe. Right there, though, his whole hope was that he would put enough damage into Prod to shut him down, but realistically, Snooze can soak up so much damage that you have to prevent him from tanking that tower forever. To have any
in order
chance
to get that done.
Well, to have a chance, because right there, your goal is not to kill them, right? Your goal is to live. Or to take one of them out with you. You can't kill them both. That is not feasible for you. Look at Aurora, though. Aurora's looking for Snooze. He doesn't... You're telling me that 2 wasn't up?
I believe that's exactly what he's telling you. Either the 2 wasn't up, or he wanted to go for the 3.
I'm just saying, if he 2'd there, I think he gets that. Like, he gets the backstop. Mordred's back.
It's so close, though, and I mean, what's not close? The amount of damage that Crow was taking.
Divine, by the way, 9-0, level 15 at 13 minutes. Sobek's in though, looking for some damage.
Aurora gonna pluck McReal, who's gonna leap away. Eevee in this fight as well, and that is going to be a dead kill cam. Kenny not even allowed to finish the ultimate. Tiny threat with a beautiful searing pain. Gonna find that kill. Snoozism makes his way over, picks one off. Sun Prodigy gonna find Aurora. Eevee gonna find Donut Doug. And Eevee at 4-0-6, but the Susano is now immortal.
Man, we gotta find a way to stop Susano from doing what he's doing currently. And is it gonna be in this game? I don't know, but we gotta. Do we get the right cheater? I mean, like, on a serious note, though, Sunprod is going absolutely crazy in this game, and we gotta shut this guy down. We gotta shut this guy down, and I don't know exactly how we're going to do that with the comp we have, because now Crow is level 11, where Sunprod is 16. Sunprod literally just rips through him like he's a sheet of paper.
I don't know. I think this Cabrakan is a sheet of paper at this point.
He is. Well, he has prophetic cloak, so that because that item sucks. And to be blunt, it feels terrible to build that item. And he's going into what I assume is Pridwin next.
Which
so
also feels like paper.
I mean, Pridwin's at least better. It's just that he's got like no defense, and now we've got Snooze who's got this Eye of the Storm, which is just gonna.
Oh, Aurora, you just jumped in the middle of everybody there, buddy, and you are going to fall. Sun Prodigy gonna find the 12th kill of the game for himself. Donut Doug might be next. That is an ult use. That should be. It is eventually. Snoozism gonna find Donut Doug on the Nemesis and put him down. Royal Jesters have completely and utterly run away with game number 3.
Man, I wish I had more to say other than this is just absolute domination from the Jesters right now. Head to Fire Giant. Let's start wrapping this one up. We gotta. If I am the Warriors right now, I'm thinking, what do we need to change? And right now, what needs to change is the fact that the Susano is existing. Crow and Tito are both dead.
Sunprod, what are you doing, man? Give him some sort of hope or something. Sunprod, double kill for the jungler. 14-0-5 is the Susano. I think he was upset that he only went 10-3.
Yeah, he only went 10-3. That is gross. Mordred's ulting in. They're looking for another fight.
Mordred going to find this Nemesis yet again. Donut Doug just trying to do the best they can for their team. Aurora has to back away. Donut Doug in the vortex, cannot leave. Sun Prodigy, 15-0-5.
This guy's got to be worth like $10 million right now. Like you just win the game. A lot of damage. Sunprod gets it.
Sunprod able to get one. Aurora gets killed. Kenny but falls. Sun Prodigy. Eevee running through, trying to get what he can. Eye of the Storm. Snoozism going to pick up the kill there, and Eevee nearly falls. The bomb dropped on his head. Tito trying to see what he can do. Snoozism running at the Agni. So much damage in Eye of the Storm. Now Eevee not going to be the one to pick up the kill. That goes to Snoozism. Up and down is the on her, making sure he stays alive as Snoozism finds Crow. And just one after the other, staggering each other and themselves. Wola cannot get on the right page.
Right now, we just need to, I wish I had more analysis other than Sunprod is literally just 16-0, and he's killing everybody. And now everybody is just super far ahead, right? Your support is the only one who is relatively close to them. I guess your ADC is somewhere near there too. Your carry is below their mid laner, right? But the tanks, in quotes, are even with even or ahead of the support on the side of Royal Jesters. But it is, you know, not a fun time. This is not a fun time. This is not a game that's really looking, you know, winnable. We really got to adjust our picking and banning strategy. We got to find a way to either just... Are we banning this Susano? Who cares about Fenrir? We got to ban this Susano, and we got to move from there. Aurora getting active.
Aurora gonna find Snoozism, but Snoozism gets up in the air and away from the ultimate. Big ult out of the Raw. Searing Pain gonna be good for a kill. But Ares gonna put 3 in somehow. Kill Cam Kenny. That's 1 on Crow. And Aurora looks to be next. Sun Protege gonna find that tiny threat. Might be third. Sun Protege gets that one. Macwheel finds Tito. And the only one left is going to be Donut Dog, who will fall. A deicide for the Royal Jesters as they walk this down mid.
Surely Fenrir can't do this, right? Like, surely Fenrir can't do this. Susano is doing this. Surely Fenrir can't. I mean, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to end the game. But, Hercules didn't do this.
Yeah, premature in call. I mean, performance issues, 1 out of every 10, right?
It's just the main thing here is that this guy right here, is bonkers on the sticks. And now we got
Sun Prodigy getting another one. Aurora, that is number 19. Now here's a question: do you think Sun Prodigy ends this game with the old Smite 1 20-1 achievement?
Do you think that he starts inting and goes for a triple-double?
Ooh, that's a great question.
That would be really funny, but I don't think... I think he wants to secure this bolt. I know Sunprod is upset about the fact that, one, that they have to replay this set, and two, that his bolt is now under contention. So he wants to lock this down and win it as soon as possible, which is why he's going like this. Which is why I'm baffled by the fact that he picked Nemesis game 1, because he did absolutely nothing on that character. This character, like Susano, we're getting rid of it, right? There's no way we're banning Hercules Fenrir again. We gotta... Man.
I don't know if Hercules can do these things. Like,
I'm gonna be honest, you have Hercules Susano this next game, and either let him have Fenrir, because we're getting Agni, or we let them have Agni, because what has this Agni done that... like... We really are, like, are we really that concerned about the... Because Agni really hasn't done much on either team, from what I've seen, despite the fact that it's absolutely busted. And that's just because we've just been destroying it.
Both teams have been playing really well around this pick, both with it and against it, in my opinion. I don't even think it's necessarily, like, a fault of Agni. Like, he got dove really hard by both teams. And speaking of diving, Sunprod going in, at least momentarily, is going to back right the heck back out. And, just, you know, for argument's sake, you're the Warriors of Albion, you're in this situation, how much of your comms is just talking about Game 4?
I think at this point, Aurora is saying, right now, there's still a chance for us to win this, right? We can try to pick somebody out. We pick somebody out here, and then we look for something else, okay? Because you see this wraparound. Look at this wraparound that they might be playing for something. I don't know exactly what they're doing. No, they're not playing for anything. I thought that maybe they are, but no, they're backing away now. But they need to find a pick, is what they need to do. They need to find a pick. It's not going to be Sunprod, because this guy has Magi's, and they're not going to be fun. They don't have a low committal CC other than Agni Stun that allows them to pop that Magi's. So now, we're split pushing. We're going to have to stall this, but we need to be back here. We need to stop something. We can't just... They're just going to walk in and end if they see us all on the map.
You're saying they need to be back. They need to be back 2 days ago. They need to be back with express shipping. Aurora's here, but so is the entirety of the Jesters. Around trying to see what he can do. Eevee finds Crow, and Sun Protege finds the Titan to put the finishing touches on game number 3.
Mods, ban the Susano. Ban the Susano. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if that was just them trying to find farm or if that was just them throwing the game. I'm gonna be honest. I think they just wanted the game to end because they needed a fresh plate, you know? And right there, ban Susano. That's all I gotta say. We gotta get rid of this pick. He's going crazy.
The man, over the course of 2 sets and 3 games, is a whopping... What? I said, 35-8 prior to this? So, 54-8. And I believe over 50 assists as well. This man has done nothing short of miracle work on this pick.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. But but what's also crazy is the set might be over in one more game.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to game number 4, the potential final game in this best of 5 that became best of 3. MechanisCaduceus back here, possibly for the last time in the Athens season, with NotAValveGame and a TheWolfiePup as our production. Bans already rolling through. We're seeing the Hercules ban yet again. And please tell me a Susano ban is next.
It's got to be that, or they're taking it away immediately, right? Because it's just, I don't know. You put on 2 star-studded, like literal legacy performances. This is the best I've seen Sunprod play ever.
And to be fair, didn't you already say that last weekend?
Yes, the Susano's banned away. Okay. So we're leaving Fenrir open. Are we taking it away? I don't know. The Agni really hasn't shown up that much, even though I know it's OP and it's absolutely broken. I feel like they're still going to pick it first. I don't know. I think they're going to pick it first. It's going to be the Agni or they're taking this Fenrir. It's one of the two. Because there's no way they're giving them Agni Fenrir for, like, if they, like, pick Thor or something, or Mordred. There's no way. They're not giving them Agni Fenrir.
We had a visual bug there for a moment. Kali banned, unbanned, and banned
I will
again
hunt
as
you down.
Mordred.
What? There's no
Is
way you're
going to
giving them
be the-
Agni Fenrir.
Mordred, the top pick for the Warriors of Albion here, as the Royal Jesters immediately have her Fenrir Ares.
You know what? I'm fine with that too. The Ares really stuffs what Mordred wants to do. Mordred wants to move around the fight. He wants to dash through people. He wants to use his movement and to soak as much damage as possible. And Ares slows him down a lot. Kenny has been playing very well on this Ares, so I'm not surprised to see him go back to that. This Agni also has not been performing well. So the on both teams. So we could throw it in the garbage for now. Warriors will likely pick the Agni though because of just how good it is. Magical crit damage is very, very good. That's kind of just what it is. We'll see the Agni.
to burn.
And we could see the Hecate run back. Tiny Threat played absolutely bonkers on the Hecate, and I don't know why we're avoiding it. Thor is the hover though, and Thor will likely be the lock-in. I would assume this is going to support.
And, I mean, considering the way he played it in Game 1, even though I really did not think he should have had nearly as good a time as he did, I would not hate it at all if it went back into support again. Just Aurora. Aurora's going to do Aurora things. He could probably play frickin' Kukulkan support, and we could probably find something right for it. I don't know.
Playing Kukulkan solo, I mean, and in competitive games, not just ranked.
I didn't need that in my life.
Warriors,
You're
to
welcome.
battle.
On her Merlin are the pickups for the Jesters, and I mean, if it ain't broken,
This might
don't
as well
fix
be
it.
a run back.
Yeah, it might as well, but just with the Fenrir. Neath, though, I love that. Neath is a very powerful pick right now in the mid lane because of just the sheer amount of damage she does. She explodes people. Absolutely pops carries if she ever hits them with that World Weaver. The amount of power she's building, there's also a Necronomicon people have been slotting in, so she does even more damage. It does make her more vulnerable to damage, but the amount of damage she could do is crazy. So we'll see how they end out this draft. Do not pick Nemesis, I swear to God.
I mean, now that you said it,
thank
okay.
God.
It's a lucky.
Doug also went crazy the last time we played it. But
That he did.
There also was a bit of extenuating circumstances last time, but we will disregard those. This time around, the Loki has the potential to go absolutely crazy, and I want to see Doug go absolutely crazy with it. We've got the Thorin support with the Mordred. We've got a lot of loud things to distract people from the Loki coming from the side, looking to either kill this Fenrir, get on the Anhur, get on the Merlin, get on whoever they want to, and pick whoever they want. It's a character that can be very, very irritating, but also has a lot of minute things that a lot of people don't think about. Wave control, wave state is something a lot of Smite players don't think about. Loki doesn't have to show himself on the map. He could decoy over a wall, and he's suddenly wave state is in their favor. I hate
this. I'm gonna go with the word interesting. That's an interesting decision out of the Royal Jesters, this Bologna. I understand the one is supposed to be very, very good in ADCs, right? Block stacks and the way they interact with abilities and crits and all that. You know, what's the best defense against a crit, but to not be hit by it? That does not mean I like the pick.
The thing is, right, the Bologna is looking... Most of the time when you play Bologna, you're looking to have some aggression in lane. Have some aggression in lane, have some pressure, and then, you know, get a little bit active. Mordred puts you in the dirt. There really isn't much contention there. Mordred wins that lane. You also have, debatably, one of the best Mordred players in the world, Crow, on the other team. Guy, I don't know if there's like a metric for how long people have played Mordred, but I would be saying that he's in at least the top 5, if not the top 2 of the most time spent playing Mordred. This guy knows he knows how to push his buttons on that character. It is I've just been informed he has 14 stars on that character. Bro is nearing barbed wire territory around that little icon of his. So he knows the Mordred. Bologna also, I feel like your whole point with Bologna is to use, you know, that the block stack, sharing it with your team. I understand that. But if I root you in places Neath, and then Agni crits you 3 times, 4 times, you're just dead. If Thor walls you off, you're just dead. I don't know, man. Odin probably would have been better. Cabrakan probably would have been better. I know Snooze is not the biggest fan of Cabrakan. He'll play it if he has to, but he doesn't really enjoy it. It's a big thing it's something that I'm pretty researched on for specific matchups into Snooze. For TKL specifically, I was looking at his picks. He doesn't like the Cabrakan, but he will play it if he has to. I don't know why you're not playing Cabrakan. Killcam Kenny almost is dead.
Just
I'm
immediately
sorry.
too. Yeah. What?
We're not even transitioned into game. We open up the screen and it's literally, I'm gonna pass it to you to transition, and Killcam Kenny's literally at 12 HP. The game started, by the way. Bring it, production. Bring us in, please.
I mean, on the other side of the map too, we got like Crow hiding in a bush. It's just like crazy on one side of the map. What happened?
So there's just a whole other thing. There's just Agni and Neath, they were grouped up in a bush probably. They were grouped up waiting for somebody to come by. They Neath rooted him most likely, and Agni just absolutely unloaded with like a dash and damage. I don't know if he upgraded the dash or not. But he just unloaded with the... No, he upgraded the 2. So he 2'd him, and he just hit him with the basic attacks. That's all he did. And then with that Agni dot, with that aspect, what it does is it makes it so that his ultimate does less damage, but all of his basic attacks now ignite enemies, dealing dot damage over time, which stacks 5 times. And the ignite, the 2, or the ultimate now bursts that damage. So, Guy hurts. Guy hurts a lot. So I'm not surprised to see so much damage soaked into him. But this dual lane again, Ares on her, I'm gonna be blunt here, beats the dirt into Thor Agni. In terms of
that
fight.
That is certainly a way to put that. Yeah, in no way should Tito and Aurora be fighting back into this double early fighter type composition out of the Royal Jesters. They want to fight in lane. They want to do it early. They really should be looking to take advantage of the momentum that they have as the camp gets dropped to them.
Yeah, that's what I was humming about. I just don't... We just kind of gave that to them. Gave them the neutral. In favor of what? I don't know. But there's a lot of damage going into Kenny. I say that there's not a lot of fight back, but Kenny's just soaking so much damage. Snooze looking to put a lot of damage, going to try to hit Crow here. Looks like Crow might go down.
Crow very nearly the one to fall in such a favorable matchup too. That would be That would be painful.
It's
for
a
Crow
Warrior's
here.
Axe right here. Warrior's Axe allows Bologna to get aggressive, and she has some tank stats that the Mordred doesn't currently. Got a little bit of extra prot, a little bit of physical protection, and that tiny bit of heal and tiny extra bit of damage that the Warrior's Axe provides. Plus, she's got the block stacks, so Mordred trying to dash through her with that basic attack, the block stack prevents him from doing that. The basic attack, while it doesn't need to make contact, if it does make contact and is blocked, to my knowledge, if it does make contact but it is blocked by a block stack, you cannot dash, which is weird. Character's weird. Interact key doesn't have priority though, as dash. Sunprod looking for some activity though on this right side. Doesn't get anything.
Looking for activity, not exactly going to find much, but will find his own team's teleporter there on the right. Goes through it, looking for a gank, not going to find it. Was caught out, I presume, by the other side. And, you know, we talked about it. Game number 2, game number 3, now game number 4. Sun Prodigy, the protagonist in this set. Who does he primarily have to deal with here in game number 4?
Your right tower is under attack.
Right now, you see purification beads on 3 characters. If I'm Sunprod, I'm hitting level 5, and I'm looking for one of those characters who does not have it. Right now, Thor does not have his ultimate, or does not have beads. I think they know Sunprod's here, by the way. He jumps over the wall. They're looking for it. Ragnarok grabs him.
Ragnarok in, and this should be a very, very dead Thor. No Anvil of Dawn, no beads. See you later, Aurora. First blood goes to you-know-who, Sun Prodigy.
You had to have seen him on the wave, right? Or was the wave already past, though? I don't know. As soon as Sunprod appears around the corner, you got to hammer out of there. I don't know why you're holding that for so long.
That is a phenomenal question. Though, speaking of Sun Prodigy, he's going to try for this yellow camp, and looks like he should get it. Aurora's trying to secure it, unable to do so. Never mind, he does get it. Aurora does secure it for his jungler. Sunprod gonna leap over the wall. No hammer through to chase, so Sun Prodigy is out.
Good distraction from Thor. I really like that Aurora decided to just chase out Sunprod there, because if he doesn't and he decides to walk back to lane, Sunprod can go to mid and try to get a return kill onto Donut Doug. But instead, he runs at Sunprod. Oh no.
Aurora gonna get pulled in, no beads, so this Thor may very well be dead, but through the wall does not matter when Macwheel is there to help clean him up, and Aurora goes down twice in 2 minutes.
Yeah. That can't feel good if you're a Thor support, being behind. It's kind of a similar situation to the Ares, in that when you're behind, it does not feel good, like, at all. But the Thor, I feel like, has a bit of an easier time coming back from it. Once I get Anvil of Dawn, I've got that wall stun. I've got more range than the Ares does. I've got a lot more safety than the Ares does. But I think Thor just was a bit too aggressive, sticking around there. He's building his beads first, as you can see the way he's itemizing. He's looking to get this purification beads because he has to. Fenrir and Ares both are going to try to force this purification on cooldown. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a Xerxes Hexstone in the next slot. Look at this corner camp.
Tiny threat, lot of damage out of the root. The teleport's going to be good to make sure that he doesn't take too much more. But I mean, that's corner camping at its finest here in the Tiny Threat.
I mean, right now, this is a classic sort of callback to Smite 1 here. The Hunter versus Mage matchup. Hunters have a little bit more early damage in some cases, specifically from those basic attacks, but in Neat's case, it's from those abilities. She's got a little bit more base damage than this Merlin does, and can sit on that corner and wait. Looks like Sunprod and Killcam Kenny are trying to get active around this purple buff again. Agni's walking towards them. Does he know? I think look at the way he's just kind of dancing. He has a vague idea he's there.
He had a vague understanding that he was going to get ganked. I believe he heard the call out. He was trying to immune out the Anvil of Dawn, but does it way too early. Anvil of Dawn is going to pick up the stun. Kill Cam Kenny is on the kill cam. Aurora going to put him down, but Donut Doug finds the gray screen with the help of Sun Protege. Sun Protege going to find another. Tito going to find two as well, but MacWheel puts down the Thor. Tito trying to run, can't get away. Tiny Threat gonna try and run down Sun Protege. Leaps over the wall. The root is good, and Tiny Threat will get the shutdown of the set.
I mean, finally, Sun Prod died for one time in the last 2 games. I mean, or one time in these last 2 games. This one and the last one. I mean, right there. You have a... We're too eager. I don't know if Killcam Kenny heard it too soon or he just thought he couldn't hear it. But there's a visual on the ground there that you can wait for that to come down. He was just a bit too eager to get that CC immunity, so Doug just waited it out. Tiny Threat, though, taking too much damage.
The stun really good out of the on her. Tiny Threat takes 2/3 of their health bar nearly instantly. The power of a good on her pillar right there, too. Tiny Threat, lot of solid damage. Killcam Kenny not letting the Sneath get away. The beats having to be used to get out of the cripple, but it doesn't matter. The burn damage was good enough, and Killcam Kenny is going to find a kill on this Ares, going from playing from behind to playing with a lead.
Snooze, in the meantime, is getting so much damage put into him while this Gold Fury is being taken away. Snooze gets soloed by Crow, and this is what the matchup. This is what I was concerned about in this matchup, right? Because Bellona tries to be aggressive and she gets picked down. Gold Fury is secured by Sun Prod, but the chase is on.
The chase is on the leap out, and the Anvil of Dawn past the window yet again. Tito, however, is going to make up for the sins of the Thor here. Gets the kill on the back end.
Past my window is just the best. I don't know if I have. I don't think I do have that emote in my better Twitch TV, but I need to put it in anyway. That's a bad. Great analysis of the fight, by the way, by your chair too. You're welcome. The Subprod was hunting, looking for somebody there, but he doesn't find anybody. That was just kind of Doug was looking for, or not Doug. Roar was looking for somebody there.
Tiny Threat. Walks right into Sun Prod, who was a wolf on the prowl. Killcam Kenny not quite able to get a chain onto somebody, not able to keep them around. Thor able to teleport away to Mjolnir as well. So both members of the Warriors going to be able to survive that engagement.
I mean, that's really, really good. I mean, there's no other way to say that. Other than that is really, really good. It is not like that. That started as terribly as possible. By the way, the fact that he got caught, the fact that he just had so many things going towards him, and it just didn't. It didn't work out. The fact that he lived there is kind of criminal.
You know, the fact that he lived there may be a bit criminal, but look at his health bar now. I mean, healing all that back up on top of all that. Speaking of healing, how about Crow? Sunprod gonna fall! Tiny Threat! World Weaver Ultimate! Able to get in and get around. Eevee going to fall shortly thereafter. Crow will find that one. 3-man cripple, but it doesn't matter. And Sissy's Hexstone into a wall. That should be another death, but snoozes him. Finds Donut Dog up in the air. A roar into the Anvil of Dawn. Up and down. Where's he gonna go? Crow will find Killcam Kenny. Killcam Kenny, with the help of the bird, will put Crow down. Tiny Threat is walking away now. Bellona, the only player left from the Jesters.
Crow really wanted that kill. I mean, there's no other way to explain that other than Crow just wanted that kill. He inted for that kill. That's the only way to say it. I wish there was a more like, oh yeah, he wanted that kill because he needed it. You know, no, he didn't need that at all. He straight up, he's like, I'm going for this kill, I do not care, and he inted. I mean, that's just what it was. Aurora made the right decision there, getting out. Going in for Kenny there is just asking for death. And Aurora does kind of have to reestablish himself. We see him going for, I believe, the Xerxes Hexstone in this next slot, which is exactly what he needs, right? He needs another form of CC immunity for this Fenrir, for this Ares. And while he can immune out the Ares with that Berserker's Barrage, that third ability, is that always going to be up? Am I always going to be able to use it every single time Ares ults me? I don't know. Maybe not. But it looks like Snooze is actually going to be able to, you know, he's putting in some work with this Bologna, but it's still, it's got to be, once we get to this late game, I got to see it start doing absolute work. Look at all this damage. This is what the Neat does, by the way.
The World Weaver, yet again, Tiny Threat going to find Eevee, and this Neath has been going absolutely crazy. 3, 1, and 5 on this pick, just changing the way the map is being played around her.
She hit all of her buttons and the guy died. I mean, that's all that was, is that she hit all of her buttons and the guy died. There's no counterplay to that other than don't walk up, idiot. That's really all it is. I mean, this Neath has so much power behind her kit right now with this intelligence style build. You see this Doom Orb, you see the Spear of Desolation. She's got so much power. She's got some pen in the build, the flat pen. So now they're going for this Gold Fury. She doesn't have the shred most hunters do, but some prod, Pyro, looking for it. Tito got it.
Tito got the Gold Fury, Sunprog got the Pyro, Ares has got 2 people crippled, but the Anvil of Dawn comes down and makes Ares regret the decision to walk in. Ares should be momentarily, that's a root, that's a dead Kenny! Tiny Threat going to find that kill. And Mordred wrapping around through multiple rocks, not able to find the Anhur as he leaps over the wall. But now Bologna has to leap over a wall made by 4, but he is able to get away.
I mean, it's just, we slip out and we're fine. We're good, we'll get away. But it looks like the Warriors don't want them to get away. So much damage!
So much instantaneous damage. Up, down goes Macwheel. Tiny Threat with the chase down. And here we go again. Snoozism put down by Tiny Threat. Tiny Threat? Nah, he's the biggest threat on the map.
I mean, what else? He's anything but. He's not a minuscule like issue. Some prod gets donut dug, but like Tiny Threat is just killing everybody else. This left side tower's under threat. They're looking to push down the mid, which is really good from the Jesters. They're looking to get active somewhere else because they can't respond to this properly. So you respond by answering somewhere else. You make them answer a different phone. Look at Kill Cam Kenny though. He's getting aggressive to try to slow them down, but is it going to be too much? No, they're fine.
Kill Kenny does have enough tank stats right now to walk at somebody and make them not be allowed to back, at least for a moment. Which, as you point out, exactly what he does there. I love that play from Kenny. Like, honestly, I love that play.
That's the slowing down, the stalling. So now the T2's both towers in mid going down is actually really big for the Jesters. Because a big safety zone is now not there anymore for the Warriors of Albion, right? Those mid towers, while, you know, okay, you know, the mid T1s are not always the biggest deal, specifically in the side lanes, as we do have a brief pause coming out. That mid lane now being a completely unsafe zone for the Warriors of Albion because those towers are gone is really, really bad. Now, I actually want to point this out. Kill Cam Kenny not only has the anti-heal, but he's double stacked it into this Mordred.
I think somebody listened to you.
I don't think he listened to me. I think he just knows that he needs to buy anti-heal.
You know who else has anti-heal? The Merlin.
The Bologna. The Anhur.
Just about everybody.
Some prod, catch up. You're going to a basic attack build? Lernian Bow's pretty good, you know? That Lernian Bow
I think that's what
good.
he's building. It looks like it. No, that's a shield. What?
That's a shield.
Is it Berserker shield then? It's gotta be,
possibly.
Right?
Possibly.
Either way. This game, you know, we just talked about it. You know, banning away the Susano, not giving him the picks that he's proven he will run you on. Look at him. I mean, 4-2. I know. I get 4-2. Really good slash line. 2.5 KDA. This is pedestrian for what he's been doing this set.
The Nemesis was spectator. This is pedestrian though.
Exactly. He's at least there. He's wandering around. He's not eye in the sky here with us this time.
No, he is not eye in the sky with us here. This is a. I am. Obviously, I want more from Sunprod, but right now, what more can I get? A Sunprod, if Sunprod looks for more right now, he's kind of just dying. This Neath is killing everybody. Neath is going to be the main focus of the Royal Jesters. We got to get on this Neath. And I'm going to be honest, usually that falls to a solo laner to try and kill her. Because physical defense items aren't too bad. We get the Nemean Lion, we get something like that. Bellona, gonna have to kill this Neath. Neath can buy a lot of time against this Bellona. Some good damage going into the Thor. We're looking to follow up.
The Thor not going to be able to find a... Well then, there's the Hexstone to get away from the...
I mean, it was forced. They had to. They die there if they don't.
That's a World Weaver getting charged up. Is it going to be used here? No, but the Eevee will find the Pyromancer for their team. That is going to be a Pyro Bomb again in the hands of the person best suited to use it, none other than Sun Prodigy.
And Storm picked up again by Crow. It seems to be a consistent pickup for both of these solo laners, this Eye of the Storm. And I'm going to be honest, it adds an extra layer of CC while giving pretty solid stats. Adds an extra layer of CC that is really disorienting. Have you ever been hit by an Eye of the Storm?
Yes, I have.
That shit is annoying. I'm on my own channel, I could swear. That is really, really annoying. It just kind of is, you're trying to aim your abilities, especially as like a squishy, as like an honor, you're trying to aim your basic attacks here. Looks like needs charge and ult. She shoots it out, hits somebody. No engage,
It's the Fenrir for 300, so Sun Protege. The little bit of tank stats he does have are proving very, very useful. The Mordred up and down. Cersei's Hexstone gonna try and get away from the Vortex. It's just too much. Mordred sticking on top of Kill Cam Kenny. And Kill Cam Kenny just able to make it out alive on the other side of the map. Sun Prodigy +1. They tried to
like sneak it, but their DPS
I love the
isn't high
ambition.
enough.
I love the ambition though. I love the ambition.
I mean, it was there, but like realistically, I don't think they have enough damage for it just yet. Because you look at Sunprod's build, he's built this Pharaoh's Curse, and it is. He doesn't have like any real pen for it. He doesn't have any way to shred it through, other than a couple of yellow numbers. And I think it was just to get them to like not aggress as much, maybe. But if they spent too long on that side of the map, or they went for Gold Fury, then I guess they could get the Fire Giant. Snooze also buys this Eye of the Storm. This Eye of the Storm item, I feel like the stats are good enough, and that extra CC, that Vortex, is also good enough to start buying. I think the first person who was really buying it was Leo, Dishonored. I could be wrong on that, though. I haven't been really caught up to it. But Gold Fury pulled. They're looking for... They're posturing.
They're doing more than posturing. That may be... Not enough damage on the ticks. Mordred gonna try and look for it anyway. Over the wall, finds it. Tiny threat with the World Weaver. Gonna find the Ares yet again.
Bellona's chasing down Doug in mid and forces him away completely. Crow is on the runaway here. The Phantom Shell burned. Sunprod on the chase.
Sunprod on the chase. Sunprod on the hunt. Ragnarok used. And Sun Prodigy gonna find another kill on the Crow. And the Loki trying to get away, but Snoozism was gonna find the kill there. Agni will find the kill on Snoozism. Tito gonna put him down. Aurora staring at Merlin, gets the stun on the Fenrir instead, trading a cat for a dog or a dog for a cat. I'm not sure which. on her, up and down. So is the Roar. As Aurora is going to be the one to put down MacWill instead. But loses his life. Kill Cam Kenny credited for the kill. As the Neath is going to try and cross the map but won't have time.
I think she tried to teleport there, but it just didn't. I think she like pressed it and then canceled it and was just like, oh, well, now I'm stuck here. I can't teleport. And now she's dead because of it. I think he was just trying to push too many buttons at the same time. And unfortunately, that means you interrupted your teleport, so you died. That's really unfortunate because he was really trying to slip away there. Because he could get, if he was able to, you know, hop from the wind siphon or the wind sprite to that teleporter and then just teleport straight there, I think he's out. But because I think he tried to like just do it too quickly, he canceled it because he double pressed spacebar or something. He was just being too, you know, finicky with his keyboard, and it goes down because of it. Unfortunate. But right now, if we're the Warriors, we are still pretty even. I mean, we're only 1,000 down, 21 minutes. And we gotta correct this. Because now we're just kind of splitting our fights too hard when Neath is the play. Neath is the character that we need to play around. How much damage she is doing is really, really core. Let Doug do what Doug does, and that is Doug sitting on the side of the fight, coming in when he wants to. Crow soaks damage, Crow takes damage, Crow does damage. Right? Have Neath follow up with that. Have the World Weaver. Agni can come in with those crits. We can do that damage, but we need to work together. We're splitting up too much again.
I mean, you want to talk about dealing damage. I think this Neath is the one really dealing damage right now. 17,500 damage in 22 minutes of work. Not something you expect out of your mid lane, at least not at this point in the game, to have very nearly caught up with the number of minutes in the game in thousands of damage.
Right now, we're kind of at an impasse. It looks like we're trying to get active, though. Look at the Xerxes Hextome. We're looking for this Neath. We know she's the valuable one.
Looking for the Neath. The beads are going to be used. Neath trying to get away. Able to get away, but the beads, the all-important purification beads, taken away from Tiny Threat, as now they're going to be very reliant on their Thor to get them out of situations like that.
It is... I mean, right there, RJ is doing exactly what they need to do. And that is, we need to force this Neath away so she can't be impactful in this fight. And we're looking to set up this Fire Giant. We're looking to set up for something. And once we do that, we don't want to have a tight corridor where Neath can just throw her abilities out and kill everybody. I mean, I wish there was a more, you know, eloquent way to put it. But if we put ourselves in a small corridor, Neath can kill everybody. She pushed 2 buttons and she kill everybody. That's really all it is. And we want to avoid playing like that. Agni can do the same thing. He just throws his basic attacks in the middle. And look at this though. They're kind of posturing. The Warriors want to take initiative on this. Look at Thor.
Thor trying to find his way in. Donut Doug going to be the first to follow. Sun Protege will find that kill. Kill Cam Kenny, however, makes his way to the gray screen, and Anvil of Dawn on the way in, not able to find anybody with that, not quite close enough. Eye of the Storm going to be brought to bear. Nothing more to happen here.
The wall was really good to force that Phantom Shell. They forced it away from Snooze, and so while they are Crow is pretty poked, so Crow needs to heal up a bit. We've got that health chalice ticking, and we can get some healing off of this blue buff if our teammates don't clear it for us. Okay, no, we're letting Crow clear it. I also assume he might have TP, but this Fire Giant is being pulled now. They're doing some good damage to it, but I don't know how fast they're shredding it. Look at Aurora, though. He's trying to walk in. He's leading the charge for his team. Can we get in quick enough?
Snooze is able to get into him, but Crow will be the one to take the Fire Giant. Crow stealing the Fire Giant away. Purification beats expended by some Prodigy. A lot of damage. Vortex is good. The dagger is used. Tito gonna kill Snoozes and Prodigy gonna get Crow. And now you've got Aurora running away from 3. The On Her gonna try and look for it. The stun is good. Tiny Threat picks up a kill. MacWill picks up On Her. Sun Prodigy gonna chase down Oh my goodness, Tiny Threat gonna pick up yet another, and it's Kill Cam Kenny versus Tiny Threat.
Now,
1-on-1.
look at this, right? Tiny Threat lived a fight, and he killed pretty much everybody. He killed pretty much everybody. The only person he didn't kill was Sunprod at the beginning of the fight because Sunprod resurrected from Crow just beating him, right? It is... Tiny Threat killed almost everybody in that fight. I don't know. He didn't get like a quadra kill, but he did like 1 million damage in that fight. Ignore those numbers on the side not being 1 million because he did 1 million damage in that fight. Play around Tiny Threat. We need to be around Tiny Threat because this is what this Neath does. Neath does damage. Neath plays damage. That's what we do, and we need to set up for her. We need to make it so she can play these fights out. That's what we need to do. Because Prod is running around these fights. He's doing what he's been doing. Slow him down. Stop him from getting to this Neath. And we prevented him from getting this Neath, but this time around, we need to stop dying. All of us need to stop dying so we can, do this better.
So, Fire Giant on 1, arguably the most important Fire Giant you could have on the Warriors of Albion right now. If you're the Jesters, what's going through your head right now? Where is your head at?
We need to kill this Neath. That's what I'm saying at least. We need to kill this Neath. What is Aurora doing here by himself? We can go on this guy. Maybe not though. Pulling Gold Fury.
Maybe
like
not. A lot of damage on the Bellona very, very instantly. Tiny Threat is doing so much damage, just plastering people to the pavement.
Look at this. Look at this though. Look at Donut Doug. He's gonna throw his 2 out, try to get some poke, I think. But he's doing what he wants to. This is what Doug wants to do. He wants to come into the fight after it starts. He's waiting. He's being irritating. He's making himself known as a presence, but he's not going in yet. So I'm proud doing a very similar thing in that he's making himself known, but he's not going in yet. But Sunprod's more of a front fighter than Doug is. Doug usually comes in from the side of the fight. Look at Crow though. He's taking a fight with Sunprod, and it looks like he's it's kind of being even right now. Neat though.
I was gonna say, kind of winning, kind of losing. And Merlin gonna drop some ice on people, but I don't know if there's anything more to really see here.
We have an eye on Sunprod, which is really good, but we don't have an eye on the Gold Fury, which is being shredded down now. We see this team here. Neath is here though. We need to find her. We need to take her down.
The enemy team has
Neath is
destroyed.
around. Kill Kim Kenny gonna be the one to take that. As Bellona, she jumps in. Has to immediately start walking away. Mordred, same situation, same real story here. As Tiny Threat's going to take out Snoozism.
The fight's still going though. Loki's on the chase. The fight is going further. The up down from the Loki stuns 3, and they murder everyone.
That was a disgusting ult from Donut Doug. I don't know how I didn't catch any of that fight whatsoever on the back end, so thank you, Val, for picking that up for me, because I completely missed it.
Donut Douglas.
Donut Douglas indeed.
That's what just happened. It was Donut Douglas. Just a
Aurora
donut in the jungle.
Man knows what he is. Aurora and company taking in, going for that bird, and it looks like the end call is going to be made. But Sun Prodigy is here, and Sun Prodigy, Cito, Sun Prodigy running people into the entire fountain. Sun Prodigy saves the game for his team and does what he's done all set, putting the Jesters on his shoulders.
This is, you see this now? This is the disorienting nature of this Vortex item, but Crow is finding the way out with that Pursue of the Weak, and now we're running away.
Snoozism trying to run people down. Same with Sun Prod, just trying to run down Aurora as best he can. Not going to be able to find anything there, so instead, the Jesters make their way to the next best thing, the Fire Giant.
I mean, right now, this is just kind of a free secure, but it looks like Loki's trying to get active here. Walking into the vortex, though. This is dangerous for Loki. Merlin's under threat.
Merlin's under threat, but who's really threatened? Evie gonna put Donut Doug into the ground. Sun Prodigy, the one you want to have it, has the Obsidian Dagger. And you get the feeling that the next major team fight will decide this game.
I'm gonna be honest, why did Doug do that? Why did he do that? What is Ro doing? I don't get the point of that. I understand he was like going for a pick, but as soon as Bolina finds you there, just walk away. You gotta run away. Because there's no way you could slip away from her. You were invis, she didn't catch you at first, but then you walked around to try to get active. You didn't need to. Right there. But now you're dead for another 20 seconds. I mean, nothing's gonna happen in that time, really. But like, what was the point?
I don't know about nothing. That is 4 people stacked up on a Pyromancer, though, so I do know the look of that. And they, it looks like they're doing nothing. They spent so long there, it looks like they're doing nothing. They definitely did a thing.
It is... Right now, they're kind of setting up, they're posturing for this Phoenix. Aurora's in left side, he's resetting now. He wants to come into this fight after it's kind of started, but nobody's here to, like, engage it. Looks like the team's backing up. Donut Doug has to leave, but he's going to walk right into Prod. No, they're going to be able to walk away.
I mean, as you put it, no one there to engage the fight. Because there's no one to engage the fight, there's nothing for him to return to, which is such a massive thing to be able to point out. Because what that does is it sets you up to moments like that where you have no real front line protecting yourself as you try and set a defensive wall in these Phoenixes and maybe toward the back of these towers.
I mean, right now, take this Gold Fury, and now both Phoenixes are weak, which is massive. Makes it so easy. Some Prod gets it, Aurora's in danger.
Just the up down on the right targets, everything RJ's doing here at the end of the game makes sense, is sound. I can't take this away from him. Like there were moments throughout this game where it was like, what are you doing, brothers? This is what they're doing. They're here to win.
Right now, we're gonna take it slow. We do not need to rush this at all. We can take it slow. We have the ball in our court. We have, give or take, a 6K, a little bit more gold lead. So we've got time. 60 seconds on this Fire Giant. We've got 2 weakened Phoenixes, and they're the only structure standing between us and the Titan. Get our buffs, be as strong as we can for this, and then we walk in. Right? We can maybe try to catch a pick, but I wouldn't want to be too, too ambitious. You see how Snooze is backing up here? He didn't walk forward at all. Because he sees Aurora walking forward. Aurora's looking for a pick. This is what the Warriors do. They look for something. Look at how all of them are grouped up together. All of them are resetting on this left side. I don't know. This is going to be a pseudo-base race, but it doesn't want to be risked by the Jesters. This was really smart by the Warriors here, because the Warriors forced the Jesters back, which means the Gold Fury time is wasted, and this Fire Giant time is wasted. 20 seconds left on it.
20 seconds left on a major Fire Giant for a team that assumed that there was more going on than there really was. 26-20 in the kill total. We are 34 minutes into game number 4, possibly the last game in this, what has become a best of 9 series, it really feels like.
Regardless of what it feels like now, this is a set point for the Royal Jesters. So they're playing it methodically. They're playing it carefully. Sometimes I feel like the Jesters usually are a bit more aggressive than this, but Aurora needs to be careful here. Xerxes Hexstone out.
The Hexstone has been used by one, now by both. Aurora taking a third of his health nigh instantly. Sun Prodigy not going to use much here as the disarm rolls through from the Bellona. 4 on 4 now.
I see where Loki is doing what I was talking about before. He is showing himself on map, unfortunately, but he's pushing up this mid wave to keep the fire creeps out. And we are we don't want to walk in too far. We want to kind of play towards the side of this fight like Doug has been doing this entire season. We want to play towards the side of this fight and then come in afterwards. The point he is trying to do here is he's trying to wait until Crow has soaked a ton of damage, but we've really been keeping a good eye on him. We've been holding him. Look at Kill Cam Kenny.
Kill Cam Kenny in the middle of absolutely everything yet again. The shell is going to be good enough to get away. But really, really significant damage out of Macwill on her Eevee on the Merlin. There's just so many things that Warriors have to deal with.
We're at the point of the game now that the carries have their pen, and so the tanks don't feel very tanky anymore. It is, we've got the Titan's Bane, we've got this Executioner from Macwheel, so Crow does not feel too cash money taking all those basic attacks anymore. The Nemean line does help him with that, and that's kind of just what makes tanks feel like tanks. But look at the side here. Sunprod is looking for Donut Doug. They're on a chase. Kill Cam Kenny's looking.
Kill Cam Kenny's looking. They found Crow. They found Crow with the Ragnarok. Macwheel gonna up, down, find the kill. Nemean line extended. Donut Doug is down. Eevee finds a roar. This might be it. This might be the set! Tito will fall! Tiny Threat, the only one left, has to back! This is going to be for everything right here, right now! The bird is going down! The Phoenix is gone!
You're right, Phoenix is
Tiny Threat is back, but can he do it? 7, 6, 3, 2, 1, and there we are again! The Jesters! In a 3-1 win over the Warriors of Albion! Are your Athens Division Champions!
Right there, we see. Cheater or not, we show that we are proven. We deserve that bolt regardless of what we had there. It is not Cole Football who made the difference, and we knew that. Minuscule Effect is right. Sunprod put on a show, that's set. The Jesters put on a show, that's set, and that's exactly what they need to do. Tiny Threat and Tito both put on the best effort. The Warriors put on their best effort, but this time a 3-1 set. One game less than they needed last time to take them down. An improvement, some may say? Even without the cheater, they improved their score against the Warriors?
I don't know if I have enough words to describe what we saw in this set. I mean, we knew what we were getting. The moment this was brought back, we were getting some more Sun Prodigy going absolutely ham. Last time it was a debate on, how much Kill Cam Kenny set up for his team and how much Sun Prodigy knocked down versus set up for himself. Nah, this set, Sunprod, there's your MVP. No discussion to be had.
Yeah, it's kinda just... Bro, the Geneva Convention's who? I mean,
Please tell me he's Canadian. Somebody tell me Sunprod's Canadian.
I'm pretty sure he's American.
Well, I guess he's about to become an honorary Canadian because there's a whole new set of conventions that are going to have to be written now that he's done what he's done here today.
Well, now that he's done what he's done here today, he's secured his bolt despite the questions that have been asked towards him and his team. Athens finalist champions, the Royal Jesters. Now, if you aren't already following, please do. I'd greatly appreciate it. I do casting stuff like this pretty often. Usually when these community tournaments roll around, the inbound tournaments in particular are ones I highlight. Thank you, Mechanist, for joining me today, and the WolfiePup, the they-them, bringing us the mayhem this time around. And we had an excellent set today, and I intend to bring more excellent sets in the future. Hope you enjoyed it.